Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. This is GoblinCaveTV, and today we have a special Call of Cthulhu game all the way from Miskatonic University. Go Sports Teams. So we're going to be playing The Haunting, the Call of Cthulhu Quick Start game. We have a new cast group, and we're going to try to drive them insane, and maybe their characters too. Who knows? I really love this game because it teaches the basics of Call of Cthulhu, the core rules. It has some investigation, some horror, and it's got a really good balance of the two. It also has some amazing supporting audio from Syrinscape, who are not a sponsor, but go check them out at syrinscape.com. So we have a different donation system today because it's a one shot, and because it's Call of Cthulhu. We're not donating extra dice for rerolls. We're donating luck, maybe. So when you donate $1 per 100 bits, the player gets to make a choice. Do they want to use that to roll a d6 for luck or d6 for sanity? If they roll for luck, they take away their sanity, and if they roll for sanity, they take away their luck. And as always, the person with the lowest luck is the target of any random events, which is always fun. Now, normally in a long-running campaign, you start with something like 60 to 80 luck. It's part of your character creation, but we're not going to do that. We're going to be rolling for that, so it's going to be random anyway. So let's go to our cast group and say hello. And I just realized that down there, that's not us. Like that. Don't go to GoblinCaveTV. That's not us anymore. That's a German. He's really nice, but that's a German. It's not us anymore. I just realized that the overlay is wrong. The rest of the overlays should be correct though. But anyway, let's go to everybody, unmuting them and go, hi.
Hi.
So excited. So excited. Okay. So we'll do some introductions. We've been going through the rules and just chatting and everything and just like chilling and understanding what's going to happen today. I've got to actually mention introductions, but Molly has been here before. So Molly has a better idea of an introduction of new player who dis and who are you, etc. So would you like to do a simple introduction of who you are and maybe the character you're playing?
Sure. I'm playing, my name is Molly, or Molgars, and I am playing Esther Harlow, who is a film actress from the great city of Boston.
The best film place in the world, apparently.
Haven't you heard? It is the peak of cinema.
Naturally. Phoenix?
Hi, I'm Phoenix, and today I will be reprising the role of one Jake Gunn, 55-year-old PI from Boston who's just down on his luck and tired of all this crap.
Oh, you got the voice already done. Did you notice the actual occupation on the character sheet? Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, whoops. I had some fun last night when doing the characters. Snoozy?
Oh, okay. I just found my character sheet. My name, as I already knew, is Betty Monroe. And I am, a lady never tells her age. But I am female, and I do reside in Boston, and I'm a secretary. Let's see. I'm married, so don't get any ideas.
You're just exploring the character sheet now. I'll let you explore the character sheet. Betty is essentially the secretary to the private
I'm
investigators.
a secretary.
Yes. And lastly, we have Eon. Welcome in.
Hi, I'm Eon, and looks like I am playing Slade Smith. I am a 21-year-old private investigator who's apprenticed under Jack. So we'll be seeing how this goes.
So we have the old, we have the young, and we have the secretary and the femme fatale. So I had a call out for like, can someone like give me some Call of Cthulhu ideas for characters for this scenario, and that's kind of what I got back. But thank you for the person that actually gave it back to me. It's very much appreciated. So it's not Pulp Cthulhu, which is its own little thing where the players actually might have a chance, and everything's a bit over the top. No, this is more of the classic Call of Cthulhu where the players don't have a chance and we're going to have some fun. Oh, and running away is always an option. Usually it's the best option in Call of Cthulhu. Fighting is not always the best option. So, shall we get into the scenario, open up a few things and start doing some monologues so you're understanding what the scenario is. Trying to find it. Where are we? Things, introductions. Yes, there we go. Before we do, we do need one thing really importantly. We need luck. Everyone needs a little bit of luck in their life. And because it's a short game, we're going to have a 5d6 for their luck. So if you go to Roll20 to the left-hand side, there should be a dice. And if you hover over it, it should be able to give you d6. And you can click on 5d6 and roll luck for your character. We have dice starting to fly. 14 is not a good start. But I think that was 19 is the first one you had.
Accidentally double-clicked.
That's okay.
You know Esther, she's got those sticky fingers. Can't help but double-click things.
That
Yes,
is a
and
very
Syrinscape has been
typical start
mentioned.
for me.
So for your character sheets, how you edit the character sheets is you actually open up and up the top corner, top right corner, there is edit. You need to unclick that or click it to allow you to edit the character sheet. Just below that is where your luck is. It's actually not too far from the top. And luck is a really finite resource, a really important resource, which if you just miss a roll, you can spend your luck to make that roll. Although if you miss a roll by a lot, you might need to push a roll or just like, no, I can't do this. Pushing a roll always has consequences though.
Is the 3D dice are in the chat to the right or the like little polyhedron to the left?
If you go right to the side to the left, there is the polyhedron, the D20 it looks like. If you hover over it, it then opens up like just a little bit of like dice. And you should have an option there of D6, and then if you go right to the side, it has D6, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
5 is what we're looking for.
5d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Myth Brigade.
Hi, Myth Brigade, welcome in. So Snoozy, I think you've got. Oh, and didn't have the highest. We have Phoenix with the highest of 22. Eon, you're going to be. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But you can have people can donate, and there's also redemptions as well, which is not a non-donation, but for people that are in the channel for long enough, they can have channel experience to spend on those redemptions for people. But you can choose between sanity and luck, and sanity isn't always high on some of the players here. When making these characters, they are randomly rolled, so some characters have far less sanity than others.
Esther's a little volatile.
Specifically, there's one with 30. Yes, that's the look from someone that knows Call of Cthulhu. Sorry, Phoenix. Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Come on,
yeah.
nothing bad can happen to us. It's all good.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu is a
fluffy
game.
We're the
bunny.
protagonists.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Am I mistaken? Call of Cthulhu is the game where we all have a slumber party and have a pillow fight, right? That's
No.
the game we're playing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I signed
Chocolate.
up for.
Popcorn.
No. This is the game where we terrify you and you run away.
Oh, so like the slumber party in a horror movie.
Yeah. Yes, with dice. Yes, and popcorn.
You know what? It could be a slumber party. The monster on the bed just actually exists.
That too. So we'll start with our opening scenario where a landlord, Mr. Knott, asks you to examine an old house in central Boston, known as the Corbett House. The former tenants, the Mercurio family, were involved in a tragedy, and the owner wishes to understand the mysterious happenings at the house and set matters straight. Mr. Knott has been unable to rent the house out since the tragedy and hopes that you can clear things up and restore his good name. Or restore its good name, I should say. He offers to reimburse you for your time and trouble. The landlord gives you the keys and the address, and $25 cash in advance, which is pretty reasonable for them for the assignment. Actually, more than reasonable, possibly. Knowing your jobs, you'll want to conduct some research before you head to the house. You could check out the old newspaper articles at the Boston Globe. You could head to the Central Library or go to the Hall of Records. The choice is yours. What would you like to do?
Well, Jack, what do you think we should be doing here? This is a pretty big case, isn't it?
We're just supposed to go in and look around and see why people are spooked about a place. I'm not too worried about it right now. If we want to go and just take a look around the place, see what's there, and then we can, I guess, hit the books or whatever afterwards.
Now I got a question for all y'all. And this is probably the most important question that we are going to have to worry about today. Is this $25 split amongst us or $25 each?
I'm also interested in the answer to that question. I don't get out of bed for less than $30, you know that, but I'll make an exception for this.
Did you say get into bed or get out of bed?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I think I might like to know the answer to that. But it's $25 for the company, and we all get paid from the company.
Fair enough.
Now, I will say, as much as I am a fan of action scenes, you can check my the oeuvre that I've worked on if you'd like. I do think it might be good before we wet our toes in this haunted house if we I don't know, do a little bit more research. I think I could sweet talk to people at the Boston Globe, get them to tell us what they know.
I've seen your name in the Boston Globe before, honey, and that's on the front page. I can't imagine how you wouldn't sweet talk them.
Oh, stop. You flatter me.
I
no,
do.
Please don't stop. I'm kidding. Continue.
That's all the flatter for now, sweetheart.
If I want more, I'll have to pay that $25.
That's right.
But yeah, we have a couple of detectives here. I think they have a good sense of what it takes to investigate something. What say you, Boston Globe?
Go ahead.
Come on, boys, don't be shy.
Go ahead.
What
do you think?
I'm more in favor of going and checking out the Hall of Records just to see what they got. I mean, if there's something that's been having trouble renting, they might have some information about the previous renters. Maybe there's something bad happened there.
If it was something real bad, it might be reported on the Globe as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that we don't do both, but I don't think we need all four of us to march up to the Globe and go, "Hi, this is our famous friend. Could you tell us some information?"
Well, I do prefer a posse, but you might have a point. Who's going to carry my bag, then? I kid. I can carry my own bags. I'm still a member of the common people.
Don't strain yourself, lass.
Well, do we all agree that we ought to split up into two parties?
Slade says yes. Eon, as the player, is not liking the GM's grin.
Rubbing his hands together already.
Yeah.
I don't see anything ominous.
I think for the sake of getting things done quickly, we should go ahead and split up for now. Then we can get back together and then go see the house.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely split up. We can cover more ground around that way. Haven't y'all seen a horror movie?
I don't think I have seen one of those. What are those?
Well, you see, it's a
movie star
moving
here.
picture,
Yeah.
like the ones I'm in.
I don't
mostly
know if there
this
were
summer.
any horror movies in the 1920s. Is the thing I'm trying to think of.
No,
Nosferatu.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Frankenstein was around, right? Maybe not.
Probably.
if it's about to be released, we can go see it. That can
We'll
be
see
our
it after we-
celebration for a job well done.
Oh,
Absolutely, that'd be a good thing to
1930.
see after the house.
So
All right,
One
so who's
thing
gonna
at a
go where? I
time.
know that. So
who's going where?
Well, I believe Esther has some journalist to sweet talk. My dear
So-
Betty, you seem like you might be able to help with that.
Absolutely.
all right then. I'll head to the Hall of Records. Are you coming, Jack?
I'll come along with you. Can't let you get into too much trouble.
That was only the one time, and I ask you to please stop bringing that up.
Just one time. Really.
But to my recollection, it's all good.
Maybe yesterday. How about last week?
Oh, there was the kiddie pool incident last week.
That didn't make the paper, so it didn't count.
And then there was the kitty the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I grant you that one, but there was more than just me involved in that.
And we
That was
move
not my
scene
fault.
to the Boston Globe. So we also use the X card in this. So this is me using the X card softly, going, let's move scene. So we move scene to the Boston Globe with Esther Harlow. And is anyone else going with Esther?
Oh, I'm going with Esther. I've seen all of her movies.
Okay. So the two ladies go to the Boston Globe, the premier newspaper of the town, or the city, I should say. The receptionist out front, large, big, curved marble desk. When you enter the marble foyer, with the big globe behind to indicate the Boston Globe. The receptionist looks up from the desk and says, "Oh, can I help you? Have you got an appointment?"
No, we actually forgot to make one, but and Esther sort of approaches the desk and like leans forward on it, like head in her hands. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Aren't you just the most darling thing? We did have an inquiry, if you wouldn't mind. We heard that there was some tragic happenings with a Mercurio family, and we wondered if you had any information about that."
Oh, we don't have any information about. I wouldn't know what you know about what this Mercurio family is, but you might be looking for the morgue. But I can't give you access to that. You'd have to speak to the editor.
Oh, couldn't you make an exception for me?
No, I'm sorry. You need to speak to the editor. That he has final say on things like that. I just work here and do the day-to-day things. I'll make you an appointment so you can see him right away if that helps.
That'd be so kind of you. Thank you.
Eon, you have a choice. Would you like luck or sanity?
I'm gonna say at 12 luck, definitely luck.
Okay, roll a d6 and add it to your luck.
Alrighty.
Wait, why is he getting extra luck?
Because the lowest person is the victim. So you got +2. There we go. And the luck does run out in this. So you have an appointment shortly afterwards. You're let into the editor's room. There's the typical glass windows with the curtains, with the blinds that are drawn, and the gold lettering on the door. The editor's name is Artie. A short-statured man stands behind the desk. Looks disgruntled. Looks already angry before you even come. Like as you enter the door, so, what can I help you? What are you doing here? What's all this about?
We're so sorry to bother you. Artie, was it?
Yes.
We're doing some research on the old Corbett house, and we knew that there might be some stories about what happened to the previous tenants, the Macarios. Would you be able to help us with that? Just as a favor for me.
What's... I don't know this Macarios. Why would I even... What do you... Look, I can't give you information from stuff I don't know. What are you after exactly?
Well,
sorry. Oh, Miss Harlow, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to speak over you.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, love.
All right. Well, sir, we were told, both around town and at the front desk, that you were the man to speak to about all local incidents, that you had an almost savant-like memory for things that happened in the area, and that you would be the only one smart enough and resourceful enough to be able to give us some information on that which we are seeking. Now, I don't want to speak out of turn, and you're not hearing this from Ms. Harlow herself, but if you give us some of this information, you may find it appearing in her next motion picture.
Roll persuasion. And I'll give you a bonus for that.
Thank you.
Oh wait, no, I won't give you a bonus yet. Roll credit rating for Miss Harlow.
Do I click
first.
something on the character sheet? Where?
No, we'll see if Miss Harlow's credit rating is enough to give you that bonus. Because credit rating is essentially how famous you are or how recognizable you are, and it's not as high as you might think, or as high as you might portray to your friends. That's an 89 out of 20.
Can I roll?
No, that's just to see if you get a bonus dice for using someone else's name drop for that. So you don't get your bonus dice, but you still trying to persuade. So now you can do your persuasion.
Okay,
Betty, my love.
So there's no recognition of who she is for the next
Betty, my love,
movies.
you must understand. I'm a small time talent. I'm an indie darling, as they might say.
So a persuasion
I mean,
roll.
to be fair, she's working at a small PI department as an actress, so
She's on IFC, okay?
You know what they say about actresses who moonlight? Super famous.
Naturally, yeah, absolutely. Snoozy, can I get a persuasion, please?
Yeah. How do I do that?
Okay, so we go to skills and find
Skill
persuasion.
under
should be in the top right hand.
Top right.
Like the
It's
top,
there.
the third column top, yeah.
Persuade. Yep.
And I just hit persuade.
There you go.
Ah. And I persuaded.
And that's an 85 out of 46. Again, I don't think you've got enough luck for that.
I push the roll by trying to charm him.
You can try to push the roll by attempting charm.
There
are
as I look at
consequences
this,
to pushing.
I know. As I look at this disgruntled man who clearly has no idea who I am, which is a hit to Esther's ego that she wasn't quite prepared for on this day. Roll sanity.
Don't give the keeper ideas.
She goes around to the other side of the desk and trails a finger up his arm before returning it back to her own face, and she goes, "You're such a handsome man. You're so devastatingly attractive. I think we lost ourselves for a moment there, just in the wild passion of it all. I know it might be hard, but wouldn't you like to go down to the morgue with us, where it's nice and dark and quiet, and I don't know, get to know each other?
These do have consequences, but do you roll? And
I know.
Phoenix, you get to choice: sanity or luck. Which one would you like? The D6 on either one.
Then let's go with luck
The catch is,
for now.
I'll come back to you, Molgar. If you take luck, you lose that same amount of sanity.
Well, then I better go with sanity for now. Then that's
Then you lose that.
uncomfortable.
Then you lose that with luck.
Amount of luck. Yep.
So you don't have to do a
No,
sanity
I get
roll,
it.
but you get to roll a d6 and add that too. That's what it is.
Oh, sorry, that was me. I was trying to edit my sanity and wasn't in
Okay.
edit mode
Yep.
because I
So-
forgot about the lower sanity.
You lose 5 luck, but you gain 5 sanity, which might keep you alive because
Maybe.
health isn't the only thing which can have your character removed. Loss of sanity can also do that in a Call of Cthulhu game. Even short games. So, so the extreme success of Miss Harlow's seduction. You did, I believe, mention going downstairs with him for some quiet time, some interpersonal time. He agrees. Shockingly, he agrees with an extreme success like that. And,
Shockingly.
well, let's just say, you get down to the basement, which is the morgue. The morgue is where old clippings and newspaper articles go to die, which is hence the morgue. And as Artie and Miss Harlow enter the room, he's certainly got ideas, which are cut short very quickly by the staff member who resides there and works there. And she quickly yells at him and abuses him and makes her position known that the staff and the ladies are not to be touched like that. And I won't go into it all, but that is cut off straight away.
I was fully going to be like, don't you find it romantic to read stories about tragedy? and yeah.
So Ruth Blake saves the day, the record keeper. As you step in, and she stops it instantly. Ruth takes you in and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, ladies. He's not like that usually, but wow, you are a looker, but I can, but it's not right. Us ladies should stick together."
I have no idea where he got ideas like that. It's truly shameful that a man would act so callous and cruel to a girl like me.
It really is, and you really like. I'll make sure that his wife gets a letter one morning.
Truly, such a pig, men these days, getting ideas like that. I think it's all those women in the flapper dresses. They think that they have the right to behave like that just because we show a little more skin now. That's shameful, truly shameful.
Very much so. Is there anything I can do for you down here in the morgue? My name's Ruth. I'm the record keeper down here. It's a very lonely job down here. It's excuse the dust.
Well, if you have the time to help us, that would be so kind. We were looking into the Corbett house, and whatever happened to the Macarios previously before they moved out.
Well, everything's sorted in alphabetical order, so we're gonna either look for you say a Corbett house or Macarios. Which one would you like to look for?
The Macarios. I'd love to know what happened to them.
And she starts going through, and there's articles like the room smells musty. There's a boiler in the corner, and there's just articles from floor to ceiling. And she seems to know where things are, even though nothing's actually marked as what they are. And she comes back a few minutes later with some bits and pieces. Because you passed the charm, you don't have to do a search check, which is kind of how this one works. So I get to pass you handout number 2, which, because I'm mean, you can read.
All right. Read aloud, or?
Yep.
All right. So we have an unpublished story from 1918, a feature story that was never published. It states that in 1880, a family of French immigrants moved into the house, but fled after a series of violent accidents left the parents dead and 3 children permanently disabled. The house long stood vacant. In 1909, another family moved in and immediately fell prey to illnesses. And in 1914, the oldest brother went mad and killed himself with a kitchen knife. Oh, dear. And the heartbroken family moved out. In 1918, a third family, the Macarios, rented the house, but left almost immediately after. They all became ill at the same time. Well, that is just a series of strange occurrences, wouldn't you say?
Snoozy?
Oh, I thought you were speaking to Ruth.
No, to you.
I agree. Wow, this seems to be something far more elaborate than just the Macarios.
Yes, certainly.
Maybe we could ask Ruth to search for the Corbett house itself, since this seems to go farther than just the single family.
That would be, and Esther sort of turns back to Ruth and says, that would actually, if you wouldn't mind, that would be a huge help. I don't know if there is anything, but if there is, we'd love to know.
And she goes back to searching. And can't find anything else for you. Unfortunately, there's only those articles that mention the house and location.
Thank you so much for your time, Ruth. You've truly been a doll. I'll put a word in with your supervisor about what a help you were today. Thank you so much.
Oh, I don't have a supervisor. I'm my own boss down here. Well, I'm just left down here, really.
You love to see a woman in power.
Well, it's kind of power. Just a little bit, at least. And we move on to where were we going to with the other investigation? Where else were we going to?
Hall of Records.
Hall of Records. So Hall of Records, it always bugs me, because in Australia we don't have halls of records. This is like a courthouse record.
Bingos that know a lot of things.
Is like a hall of records like a courthouse? Because it's always, I've never really. It doesn't say, and it's like
oftentimes they are the same thing. It's a clerk's office or the town hall.
Okay.
Or
that makes
a
sense.
Courthouse.
Yeah, it's more the town.
The smaller
hall
the
than
town, the more of them are combined.
Okay. So
yeah. Well, the smaller the
me.
town, the more they're combined. Boston has its own building. Yeah.
For me, it's always like, what's a hall of records? I've run this several times. I've never actually asked, and I really wanted to ask finally. I'm not from America. So the Hall of Records is a large building, and there's just records everywhere. There's some staff walking around doing what they need to do. You have permission to look at things, but not really take things away, so to speak, and certainly not marking anything. So the civil court records show that. No, you're going to have to do some searching, I think.
All right.
You're going to do some searching. What are you going to try to search on?
I'm torn between wanting to look for like either old police records involving things in the house, like more of a modern day example, but like people checking if somebody like would like if there was a murder case or something like that in the house, or just looking at like seeing if there's a trail of ownership. I'm just not sure which of the two is the better rabbit hole to go down.
Okay. Can I do a library use, please? Or law?
I'm terrible at both. Oh no, I'm actually not bad at both. Yay. Let's try law.
A success!
Oh wow. I'll take that.
So while you didn't find what you're specifically looking for, you did find some records. And I'll give you a handout. By the way, they are numbered, but don't expect to be numbered in order, and don't expect to have. So I'm a bit sneaky, and like, there's a certain number of them, and I've had players just try to go and collect them all. So don't expect to be able to collect them all, because I change things.
They're not Pokemon?
No.
Why would you bring our hopes up like that?
So you've now got access to handout 7, and you can read it aloud, because I'm mean.
Yep. Civil court records show that the executor of Walter Corbett's will was Reverend Michael Thomas, pastor of the Chapel of Contemplation and Church of Our Lord, Granter of Secrets. The Register of Churches, also available at the Hall of Records, notes of the closure of the Chapel of Contemplation in 1912. Well, that's a bit of a thing. So, do we know when Mr. Corbett was supposed to have died?
No records of that.
As horrible as it is, we're in the Hall of Records. Could I look for the, like a death certificate or something?
A death certificate. I might have to go searching. You can try searching.
All right. Would that be library use or?
Library or law.
Okay. Well, the same. So I'll try library use this time. My luck's going to run out pretty soon.
And I think your luck just ran out.
Oh, yeah. I passed the first one and went, what? All right. So I'm going to guess probably not. Out of curiosity, and this is just something because if we were trying to get the information, is there anybody around who helps with searches, or are you just kind of like on your own?
Well, you could have asked help for assistance.
I mean, probably could have, but I'm also just going in and going, I could do this. I just didn't know also.
Yeah, one of the reasons why we didn't do rolls for library use for the globe was because the roll was passed so well, is that I didn't ask for rolls for secondary looking for the articles. So that also is a thing, because it's assumed, well, if you've passed that well, you get help for your roll. But in this case, you haven't even asked.
Awesome. Probably we just turned to Jack over. Well, I'm having no luck here finding this information. Do you think we should try talking to someone?
You turned to look.
What have you been doing, Jack?
He's sitting down next to you. He's got his feet up on a desk, just sitting there kind of glossy-eyed looking at you. You done yet?
Well, you're a fat help. I'm gonna go try and find anybody. I'm gonna go try and find somebody to actually help me research, since apparently this is what I have.
You approach one of the staff members. Is like, yes, can I help you?
Oh, hi. I'm not sure if there's anybody around, but I was hoping to find some information. Work in a case, and I'm trying to find a bit of information about Michael. I believe it's Michael Corbett. I just blanked on the name, even though I just read it.
Yeah.
Walter Corbett. Looking for some information on Walter Corbett. I was wondering if there was any records of his passing.
Although we probably should have the records of his passing, I believe you might want to search the library for anything along that lines. Our records don't go. They're not complete, unfortunately. But the library might have some hints and some references.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much for your time. And Slade's looking at Jack basically feet up on there and is like, do I take him to the library or do I just like go and see if he notices?
Desperate cries for attention. No.
This is technically my mentor, so Slade's gonna go over and like poke him and be like, all right, got other stuff to make apparently. We found some things, we need to go to the library for the rest.
Well, did you ever... Jack stands up, stretches, walks over to the staff member you were just talking to, reaches in his pocket, pulls out a dollar bill.
How can I help you?
Could you, yeah, we're doing a little bit of a history study on a few things, and I was wondering if you could help us find titles for the property at this location. We want to see who's owned it in the past. A title search.
We can try. We don't usually do this for people. Persuasion roll.
He's holding $1 in his hand too, by the way. But
you didn't mention it. Didn't mention it at the time.
No, he did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. If you're doing that, then I'll give you a bonus dice for that. So click on the bonus underneath it, and it may be less. Maybe it's a 1 in 10.
Oh, Jake, I'm sorry.
That's a 60.
Yep. Nope.
So I either got 69 or 29, and I don't think that's going to be a pass.
Yeah.
It's not a push roll, so you don't get thrown out. Because consequences pretty much only happen to push rolls, which is a thing. So he says, "Look, I'm sorry. I don't think we can do that for you. We're quite busy today. Maybe if you come back another day, or you might check the library if they have things there about the property."
All right. Jack turns and starts to walk out the door.
It's all right. Phoenix, I just missed. Is your character's name Jack or Jake? Because I've...
Can I say both?
Its sheet says Jake, but...
Okay, sorry.
But
I just want to double check that I'm
so
calling
I've just
you
been
Jack.
going with it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've been going with it.
I had something on my character sheet. I'm so sorry. I didn't see your character's name, so...
No. It was Jack. So it was Jack, and then when we got the token made for me, it had Jake. I'm like, oh crap, I wrote that wrong. So it's both.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll go with Jake just because it was just like, oh, it's because my character sheet said my mentor's name was Jack. I was like, okay.
Molly, you get to make a choice.
Oh no.
Sanity or luck.
I will add to my sanity.
Reducing your luck.
Yeah, my sanity is 35. That's why I've been playing Esther kind of volatile.
Yeah, okay.
My sanity is just now 35.
Yeah.
The last luck roll.
All right, let's a D6.
D6. Take one from the other and take.
I all of a sudden feel like my character is like strangely sane.
Yeah. When I rolled up the characters randomly, and they just had random numbers.
Yeah, I have 58 sanity after boosting my luck a little.
Yeah. So, are you going to try to go to what are you going to like? You've both done searches and stuff there. You can meet back up again. Mm-hmm. There is no mobile phones, so we're just going to assume that you meet back up and replan and share information, because it's hard for the modern brain to remember, no mobile phones, hard to contact and things like that. So
yep.
So you can meet back up at the detective agency. Half a day's passed. What's the results? What you can see from now?
You guys would not believe I met the most horrible presumptive man. But we did find a little bit of information, so I suppose it's okay.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear you had that luck loss, but well, we found a little bit of information too. I'm not going to say that much, but we found a bit. So, do you want to go first, or should we?
Well, you know the old axiom, gentlemen first.
I've not heard that kind of phrase before, but I mean, it's going to take less time to go over mine. Whenever we were looking at things, we were able to find a bit of information. Walter Corbett had an executor of his will, was a Reverend Michael Thomas, and he was a pastor of a church that was noted to be closed in 1912. So we're going to need to take a look in the library to see when Mr. Corbett actually passed. See if it was like before or after the church closed, just in case there's something strange going on there. I don't know if you found anything, Jake.
Nothing else of relevance.
Hard at work as usual, I presume.
He's reaching
Incredibly.
in a desk drawer, and you hear a bottle clinking around.
Look, Jake's a man of action. We understand. We happen to
Or
find
we
that
hope.
there's we happen to find a series of unfortunate occurrences that happened to French immigrants and other family, and eventually the Macarios, where people tended to fall ill. There were violent outbursts and truly tragic ends to some presumably fine people. And we also learned that Walter Corbett, the executor of his will, was the reverend of a church of contemplation.
Wasn't that what I just talked about? Was that in the newspaper as well?
I'm pretty sure, right? That was the first thing we found.
Handout 1.
I remember the handout popping up.
I think that might have been the thing found at the Hall of Records.
I think that was the library
I think
one,
that was
yeah.
Hall of
Or the
Records, yeah.
library. Yeah, Hall of Records.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I got
just
a little
like,
bit out of order.
cool.
Uh,
Oh, darn it. I was just going, oh, darn it. That means this. Slate's just like, well,
Sorry.
darn. Why did I go to the Hall of Records?
didn't you
Well,
know
maybe
Esther's a
backward.
little bit psychic?
Okay, so before we get into the next thing, everyone has a choice. Luck or sanity. 2d6. We have 2 subscriptions.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. Mad Veggie Burger and Wayfarer.
Yeah.
All right.
2d6. Luck or
I'm
sanity.
honestly going with luck. I need the luck.
Then do your roll.
Yep.
Snoozy. Luck or sanity.
Ooh, I will take that.
To increase, and then the other thing gets decrease.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a seesaw because I'm mean and this is a one shot. Normally long running games we wouldn't do this.
What if it says I'm at my max sanity? Does my max sanity just go up?
Yes.
I'll increase luck.
Okay, so
Being sane
2d6
is
for,
overrated.
2d6 for your to roll that, and you'll add that to your luck, and your sanity will go down by the same amount. Phoenix, what would you like to do? Luck or sanity?
Luck this time.
Okay, it'll drop your sanity after you've just built it back up. Remember, we spend that luck. If we get close to a roll, the person with the lowest luck is the victim. The random target, because we don't choose random targets, you do. Molgars.
I think I'm going to go sanity.
Roll high.
Either of these is bad. I can't
Roll high.
afford to lose I can't afford to lose potentially 12 sanity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm covering some of the screen there. We've got some big rolls in there. Snoozy, you got 10. That's a big shift. Phoenix 7. That's a big shift. Aeon 7. Yep, that's another big shift.
Yep.
Molly, you only 3. That's a. I mean, it can be useful. Both are very, very important things. Okay, so you've got some clues. There's something going on. You've also been pushed maybe towards the library, and you've got this. What is this chapel of contemplation as well? That's been brought up.
Well, I'm in favor of going to hit in the library just to see if we can find any information about either the death certificate for what happened to Mr. Corbett, or even just a little bit of information about this church. Do you have any ideas or preferences?
I can go with you to the library if we want to have people go to both and see if they could also uncover some more information. But personally, I don't want to go to a closed church. That sounds dusty, and I've got terrible allergies,
All right. I'm not sure where the church would be, so Jake?
Well, if you can get me a location for this chapel of contemplation, then I guess, Betty, you want to come with me out there and go to church, walk down the aisle with me?
Oh, boss. That's such an appropriate thing to say to your employee. Absolutely.
Oh, boy. This is, again, why she's actually in charge.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just want to point out, 1920 is very bad timing for gender equality, racism, whatnot. Everyone's playing very well, very, very well.
So did we actually get an address for the church from the Hall of Records, or is that something that we'd have to find in the library first?
Generally, I would say yes, you can find it, but I'll be nice and we'll move things on. Yes, you can have the address for it.
Okay.
There was enough information. I'll just say there's enough information to know where it is. So who's going? Like, who are we doing first? More library or more or the church? Who wants to go first?
You know what they say, age before beauty.
I think she means us, boss.
I think so. Wow. Esther.
No time like the present for aging fast.
Oh no, I meant we should go first. Clearly y'all are the beautiful ones.
Slade's just like watching this byplay like, all right, I have no idea what's going on, but sure.
Betty,
we'll go to the
actually paying Esther?
Not enough, boss.
Don't actually pay. She's just there.
That's what I meant. Not enough. Not at all.
Looking at my credit rating, probably not enough for Slade either, but hey.
So we have another subscription, which means everyone gets to choose just 1d6. Aeon, luck, sanity, which way?
I think I'm going to stick with luck again, just because
Okay.
I've got a little bit more
Luck.
sanity.
Snoozy, luck or sanity?
I have no idea what a good don't go below this level for sanity.
That's the fun part.
I'll gain more luck and take less sanity.
Fantastic. Do you roll? Change it around. Phoenix, luck or sanity?
Oh, let's keep going with luck this time.
Okay, Molly, Molgars.
Let's do. I'll take luck this time. Just keep things even, Stevens.
Okay. So work that out, and as you're doing that, we'll move to the chapel of contemplation. Chapel of contemplation.
Contemplation.
Yes,
The COC.
This gets me every single time.
I'm going to be honest, I'm dyslexic, and I did not notice there was the extra little thing. I thought it was contemplation.
Dyslexic
It is
and a speech
contemplation.
impediment, and it gets me every time.
No, it is contemplation.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So we head to the chapel. What is left of this old church stands at the end of a crooked road, dingy street, The ruins are so weathered and overgrown with greenery and grey stone rubble, it seems more like a natural stone than formal walls of a foundation. You pass a slumped wall bearing a white painted symbols, apparently freshly swabbed, 3 Ys arranged in a triangle, so that the top of each element. 3 Ys arranged in a triangle, so that the top elements of each Y touch, and the other two. So touch the other two. So looking like something like that, with them touching like that. I have a handout as well, which I might be able to find. And it appears when you look at it, the center looks like it's created so it looks like an eye looking back at you. But you're looking at the ruins of an old church.
Now, I know I've missed Sunday school on a few occasions, but do you recognize that mark?
No, sir. Yes, I'm getting an excellent look at it right now. Almost as if it were brought up on a screen in front of my eyes. And I It's definitely not from Sunday school. I can tell you that much.
Cthulhu's a Catholic, if you guys didn't know.
You know what? That does explain a lot of the guilt.
Well,
Sorry.
All we have to do is convince the Pope to say Cthulhu doesn't exist. And then
it's all good.
it's freaking solved. Solved.
Oh boy.
Oh. Well, Jake will pull out a pen, make that mark on his hand, and then, well, let's go inside and see what else we can find.
I'll pull out my notepad.
There's no
and
inside.
Make a mark on my notepad of the same thing.
It's not.
It's just ruins.
A shrine.
There is, it's not a shrine. It's ruins. There's no building left. There's a couple of foundations, some not even half, but quarter crumbled walls. Nothing left. And on one of those walls is that symbol. And the rest is overgrown.
Can I go up and touch it to see whether it's tacky or wet in any way, or look at it closely to see if any of it is peeled off and get an approximate time period of when it was placed there?
I can tell you right now, it looks fresh.
Fresh like today?
Fresh like weeks, maybe. It's
Fresh
certainly
like
not
weeks.
weathered like the rest of the ruin here.
Okay. Well, boss, it seems like not many people have been coming here, but a couple of people have been coming here, if you know what I mean. That thing's fresh.
That's awfully strange. People coming out to a bunch of fallen over stones just to paint a weird eyeball on the wall. Doesn't make much sense. Jake's going to take the time to start searching around towards where the sign was on the ground and see if anyone left anything. It's just going to start searching the ground to see if there are any clues to be had.
That would be investigation. So you can start investigating the searching, perception, spot hidden, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I run we do a lot of systems on the channel, so my brain gets stuck in lots of different systems wording.
Yep.
Spot hidden.
Oh.
And need to change back the roll.
Of course.
Okay. So
Very
firstly,
close.
Um,
That is a critical fail.
Thank you for the. It is a critical failure. Thank you for the subscription, everybody. Quickly, you get to make the choice. I won't even have running actually to announce it. Do you roll either luck or sanity? And Phoenix, this one might be really important for you right now. Luck or sanity? Because you just fumbled. You failed a roll spectacularly.
Yes, I did.
I'm about to ask you something really important right now. So as soon as you've done your roll of either luck or sanity, I'm going to ask you something.
Luck.
Okay, luck. Do your 5 luck. Drop your sanity by 5.
Oh.
Can you do a jump check right now? As the floor of the building, the foundations crumble from underneath you, and you start falling.
Good call of the luck.
No.
I don't think you got enough luck for that.
Well.
Am I in the same area?
You are.
Do I have to make that?
No.
Nope.
He failed, you didn't. Do you want to assist? It will be pushing the roll, though.
Which means that if it goes wrong.
You both cop.
We both fall in the hole.
Okay. Hey boss, are you okay down there?
So that's a no.
That's my help with the roll.
We had the first damage of the session. You take 3 points of damage. I know that doesn't sound much, but if you're not familiar with Call of Cthulhu, it's a lot.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a third of my life in one whack.
Yeah. As you fall down into what looks to be a basement or subterranean, like a room which has survived all this time. The rubble itself, the rubble itself is just enough above you that you could climb out, but it'd be a little bit tricky. The roof's not going to fall onto you because it's now under your feet. You fall into what seems to be a basement that was sealed off from the rest of the place. What was the door is just covered. There's no way of getting through that anymore. There's a ton of rubble here. But within this room, there seems to be a cabinet. But what is more important than the cabinet are the 2 skeletons dressed in tattered silk robes.
Well, I think I found something. Ow. All right.
What's that, boss?
I found a hole. Oh yeah, and some bodies.
Spot hidden, please. And can I have at the same time, for Betty, can I have a legal, please? Or
Legal?
law. Law, I believe it's under.
Oh, I think. Oh no, okay.
Okay, so that might come into part shortly. So with the 2 skeletons, like they seem to have been, like they seem to have hidden next to the cabinet. It looks like if someone came into the room, they wouldn't be seen. They're like hiding from something, and they got trapped here. Maybe they look like they've been burnt as well over time. But what you do notice that there is a journal in the hands of one of the skeletons.
Jake will take the journal and go ahead and put it in his pocket right away. He'll keep looking around to see if there's anything else of note. Do the robes have the same marking on it as the wall?
They do. They certainly seem to be linked.
Well, let's take a look in that cabinet and see if there's anything in there. Hey, Betty, you want to go see if you can find me a rope or a ladder or something? Because I ain't getting through this door down here, and I don't think I can jump that high.
Absolutely, boss. I'll go look for a ladder and or rope.
So it's at this stage which I would like to say that if you would like to spend 5 luck, you can get some rope out of the car.
Oh, neat.
But it's
Well,
spending luck.
and I have.
Can I spend the luck since I'm the one in the hole?
You're out of luck. In this case, you're out of luck.
If I just search instead, is there a chance that I find it and a chance that I don't?
Well, you're in a what looks to be an abandoned property at the end of an old abandoned road. There's not much around here.
No abandoned ladders, painting ladders. Okay,
I'll let you do an extreme search check,
Okay.
which is you have to get extreme to find it. As in, if there is something there. Or actually, I'll let you. So, this is where luck also comes in. You can roll a luck check to just be lucky, and there is something nearby, which is probably a better way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do I do a luck?
So, if you're not on edit roll, you
just
should be able to just
click
click on it, and it is a percentage rolled like everything else. And you found not just a rope, but a ladder.
Hey!
This is why luck also becomes important.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So
Maybe I'll get out of the
Boss,
hole.
I found a real fancy ladder out here. Is that what you were looking for?
and a torch.
And a torch. And a gun full of bullets.
That's me pushing it.
And 10 people who know how to kill
That's an extreme
Cthulhu.
success.
And a box of TNT, but it's
And a
sweating.
strange book that keeps talking.
Don't kick the box.
And my axe.
Actually, a
And a
friend,
dwarf who wants to join us and help us in any way possible.
a friend of mine from high school found a box of dynamite that was sweating in the shed in his property.
Wait, in a
Sweating
in an
dynamite,
RPG
highly
or in
unstable.
real life?
In real
Sorry,
life.
Apologies, but
Yeah.
no high schooler should have access to explosives.
No, they really shouldn't. But also, that's the thing I hear about too. Like people, because they used to use it a lot in old farming sheds, and so it's like, yeah, it's stable for 50 years or so. 100 years later, people find it in the back field.
Yeah. And in Australia, we don't do dynamite and explosives and guns. So finding that, not going to happen. But it happened. Just up the... Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, so you find a ladder, and I'll even give you a torch because it's a hard success. So you have a ladder, and you can climb down.
Can I write that down on my
Yep.
sheet somewhere?
Yep.
Where is that?
Well, since you got that
So
torch,
I'll put it on your sheet, and you can
Okay.
keep the role playing of what's going on.
All right. Boss, I got the ladder.
Well,
Let me just slide it down to you, all
Yeah.
right?
all right, send it on down.
You got it.
Are you carrying? Is that a
I just found
torch
it
you
under
got
this
in your hand?
tree.
Flashlight for the American listeners.
I'm sorry. What about a flashlight?
Well, why don't you come on down here and shine it around? You're not scared of a couple of bones, are you?
I'm fine up here, boss.
Thanks, but no thanks.
And as now I'm going to ask for that sanity roll because I was waiting for the trap. So sanity roll for Phoenix, please, for seeing the bones. I was waiting for you to see if Betty will be drawn into seeing the bones as well. Damn.
I've been around.
I
I
tried.
know when skeletons show up, it ain't good.
That is a failure.
Bum,
So,
bum, bum. How much?
let's see.
We haven't even made it to the haunted house
No,
yet.
you haven't. Two sanity. It's only 2 sanity.
2? Okay.
Yep.
Okie doke.
So it was a small, oh my god, spook instance, but I was waiting to see if, yeah, you wanted to trigger that. So you've got the flashlight above. You don't want to go down. Are you handing the flashlight?
Yes, yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've got a flashlight. You can see a bit more, but there's what you've found. It seems to be the only place in there. It looks to be like a place where there's just to get changed, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's just rubble. There's nothing else in there.
Okay. And the cabinet has nothing inside of note.
The cabinet has nothing else inside.
Okay.
What would have been inside would have been maybe more robes, which have just deteriorated in time. Mostly like the robes on the skeletons.
Which haven't deteriorated with time.
A little bit.
Even though they're more exposed to the elements than in a cabinet?
We'll move on.
Do you want to? I can give you an explanation. As the bodies decompose, the fats and oils leached into the silk, and therefore they have been preserved by the fats and oils from the bodies.
Okay, I like that one. We'll use that.
I was gonna say there was a specific breed of cabinet moths.
Yeah, mold, the whole works.
Or, it's been an abandoned building and there was clothes and potentially homeless people who went, hey!
But I'll leave that cabinet be.
Time to climb out of a hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Climb out the hole. There's no risk at all because you've got something nice and safe like a ladder. You don't have a risk like climbing like a rope. Now you're in full light. You could even have a look at the journal that you picked up.
I'll actually hand that one over to let Betty look at that. It's like, I found this down there. You want to take a look at it?
Oh, it looks sinister. Sure, I'll check it out. I crack it open.
Gotta share the love.
Yeah.
You're reading a tomb of Eldritch lore. Tentacles suck you into the portal.
While you can't read because I know the languages you have, you can't read the languages in there. Can I get a sanity check, please? As the iconography is a bit disturbing.
I'm sorry, I was joking about the tomb of Eldritch lore.
No, I know what he's doing. He's like, I had to do a check for being in the hole. Now you gotta read the book.
Yeah. 3 sanity loss. Yeah. From the failed roll, 3 sanity loss.
Okay.
But yes, you can't really understand what they're saying, but the iconography, the symbolism, whatever it's about, it's kind of disturbing. And it's not just disturbing from your eyes, it seems to go into your mind and it's like that instant migraine of, this is wrong, whatever it is. And so let's go to the library, shall we?
On that cheery note.
Ain't nothing bad ever happened in here.
Thank you. Not
Nothing bad.
Not many people get to the chapel. Thank you for going there. I love that. It's usually the chapel's the missed clue and the missed scene. I love it. So at the library, are you just searching at the library? What are you doing?
Having learned from my mistake in the Hall of Records, Slade would like to go and talk to one of the librarians to potentially ask for help before he'll search himself, at least a spot to start looking.
So without role-playing it fully into it, can I have a social role? So social roles, how we've been working them is essentially through role-playing if you're trying to be charming and that's how you're role playing, I ask for charm. If you're just persuading them and using logic, ask for persuade. If you are intimidating, well, that's what we ask for. If you are actually fast talking someone into your role playing, that's what we ask for. That's why there's 4 different styles. But in this, where I'm like, without role playing, choose one and do your role.
I feel bad about this because the only one I have that's any good is Intimidate. I hadn't been planning to come in and be a jerk to the librarian, but I literally have no other good talking skills. So, unless I can pass this on potentially to our movie star friend.
I want to roleplay this now. I want to roleplay this now. So you approach a librarian. One of the people working there. It's a nice, quiet library, as libraries are.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to intimidate? What are you saying?
I say I don't want to intimidate. That's the problem. It's just the only skill I have.
Come on, just do it.
The other problem is that Slade's a tiny guy. He doesn't look that
Your mentor would do it.
I think Slade's the only one with a damage bonus, I believe.
Oh, that's wonderful to know. That's avoid combat.
No, damage bonus.
Put your hands into your pocket as if you might have a gun. Doesn't matter if you're small.
No, if I'm gonna do it more intimidate, then Slade would. This feels dirty to do. You come up and kind of this very surly expression, and just going like, "All right, look, I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to about this. I need to know some information. I need to know it fast, and I'm not gonna be happy if I have to be waiting for too long. I need to know information about a Walter Corbett's death, and I don't have any time to waste." And probably would do something more along the lines like, if there is a chair or something there, be like purposely trying to do very violent actions with something physical if he can. Like shoving a chair out of the way or something.
Okay, I was like, you're punching a chair? That's a bit weird.
No. Like the idea of just like throwing the chair aside or like knocking something off of her desk
without
if she was doing
throwing
it. But like,
yes.
Yeah.
Do your intimidation.
If this goes bad, I'm going to be like really annoyed.
Well, at least you're not pushing a roll, though.
That is a fail. By how much? Ooh.
It's a fail by 6. Do you want it to spend your luck to have it pass?
Okay, so my question is, if I
spend
spend the luck, does my sanity go down? Like, it's not like
No.
It's only whenever we're doing the exchange.
Yeah.
Other bit.
It's only for
Yeah, okay, I'll
redemptions
spend 6
because that helps pay for things on the channel, and we are raising money for a big Call of Cthulhu campaign coming up.
Yeah,
And
so I'll
also
spend the
expenses
6
for
luck.
tomorrow's show. Okay, spend your 6 luck. It is now a pass, and she will help you. While that's going on, is Esther doing anything herself? Is she doing research?
I think Esther was standing behind was standing behind her friend going,
Why didn't you mention that sooner? I might not have needed to spend the luck.
I'm trying to make things happen, you know. But Esther's got decent library use, so as they go off, she can try and do a little research on her own, just so we have multiple minds working on this problem.
Okay, so you can do yours, and we'll find. So the librarian comes out and gives you essentially handout number 3, which you can read, Aeon.
In 1835, a prosperous merchant builds the house, but immediately falls ill and sells it to a Mr. Walter Corbett, Esquire. Okay.
And an extreme success. Let's unlock the rest, shall we?
Glad somebody has some luck with these rolls.
That's kind of a thing. So that's that one. Let's do this. But you're going to be reading them all, Molgar, so have fun.
Woo!
Number 4, please.
In 1852, Walter Corbett is sued by neighbors, spicy, who petitioned to force him to leave the area, quote, in consequence of his serious habits and unauspicious demeanor, end quote. Seems like Walter Corbett was up to no good. Ooh. Update. Walter Corbett wins the lawsuit. His obituary in 1866 states that he still lived in the same place. It also states that a second lawsuit was being waged to prevent Corbett from being buried in his basement, which was what his will provided for. Interesting. No outcome to the second lawsuit is recorded. Why would somebody want to stop him from being buried where he wants?
Why would somebody want to be buried in their basement?
That's a good question. Maybe he just felt really at home there, you know, in the dark earth. Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he was I don't know. Maybe he just really liked to play video games. The basement was where he felt most comfortable.
I'm not quite sure what those may be, but I mean, sure, there's a perfectly good cemetery. If you didn't want to do something different, you could just, I don't know, burn and barrel in the backyard or something like that. If you really want to stay in a location, surely you don't want to like be part of the house like that.
Well, maybe you and I don't, but this Walter Corbett seems like a strange folk, you know.
I mean, it depends on the person, but it also depends on the house.
Sure, how nice is the house?
Do any of these dates include a death date for...
I don't believe I saw one in that.
No, I didn't see either, so I'm guessing there's not information about when he passed then. Okay.
I mean, his obituary...
There's an obituary, though.
From 1866.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So, not a date, but generally, if there's an obituary, that's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, okay.
So we can get back together again and share information. So back to the office. I know Molgars, you're about to say. So back to the office, back to the PI office, and you can share your information and your adventures or misadventures, possibly at the church.
So, just had a question. Does Jake, like, come in looking banged, bruised, and covered in dust and dirt?
It's a
Yes.
Is
third.
that unusual?
I'm going to assume potentially looking dirtier than usual. We might notice if you're bleeding.
Oh, well, no, that's his ankle. He'd be hobbling. His ankle is the size of a football.
Oh, you poor thing. Would we have around our office anywhere anything that could be used to like wrap around the ankle?
You'd have a first aid kit, so you can do some first aid if need be.
Right.
As for the alcohol, and for the disinfectant, who's going to be the alcoholic in the group and taking the alcohol because it's prohibition?
I've already heard the clinking at Jake's desk, so...
Of course, everyone always has that. But yes, you can do some first aid. I'm just like, I'll give like 1 hit point back for first aid, just as a general, like without having to go into the details, and because there's more rules about it in the full rules. We're just doing more of a quick start. So we'll just go, okay, if you do it, you can get. Well, you still need to do the roll though.
Yes. So we'll see if Esther is smart enough to figure out how to wrap an ankle.
The rolls are just on your side today.
Apparently.
So again, a success. You can get 1 hit point back, which again doesn't sound much, but that's a lot.
10%.
So you're back convening, talking about what you found and discussing maybe the next move, maybe.
You guys wouldn't believe it. There's such a legal drama going on here. We thought this was just a haunting. No, this is a whole procedural, baby. You see, Walter Corbett had a couple of lawsuits over this house. One was, weirdly enough, about whether he could be buried in the basement. I don't know what he would want to do with that, but personally, seems a little fishy to me. What did you find?
I found a hole.
Or a hole found you, maybe it seems.
Got hit over the head by a hole.
I'll take you right on top of it then, boss.
Hole snuck up on me.
No.
Caught me by surprise.
We went out to the chapel. It's all in ruins. Somebody keeps coming out there and painting this weird eyeball triangle symbol out there. And then in my amazing detective work, I found that hole and fell straight in it.
Look, it takes hands-on investigation.
We did say you're a
Betty
man
was-
of action, boss.
Yeah, that's a little too much action for me. But Betty was able to somehow, out of nowhere, found herself a ladder and a torch out of nowhere. But there were two skeletons down there holding on to some book. Betty seemed to get the heebie-jeebies when she looked at that book, though.
It's true.
Do you still have the book?
I do. And this is what the symbol looked like on recently drawn on the side of the chapel, in case you were wondering.
Now that, I don't know a whole lot about this, to be frank, but that seems a little off the beaten path as far as religious symbols go. Maybe not Presbyterian, you know?
Little queer, if you would say that.
Well, yes, some people do call me that.
Oh.
Hopefully not too loudly, especially not
So
around
modern.
police.
Now, what I'm wondering is, if this church is so weird and giving us the heebie-jeebies and all, why would Walter Corbett want to have a reverend from there execute his will?
Maybe for the same reason he wanted buried in his own basement. I mean, that doesn't exactly sound like good Christian behavior now, does it?
Not Episcopalian, not that I've heard of.
Some weird cult. They dress up in pajamas, wandering around with each other, so I'm guessing that Corbett probably belonged to this Thomas's church and was one of the pajama wearers.
The major tenants seem to be wearing the pajamas and getting buried in your basement.
What we
Well,
can
those-
piece together so far.
Those two that were in the basement there at the church, they were scared. They were hiding from something. At least that's how the bodies were. And they were holding on to that journal. But there wasn't really anything else to say of note in that basement that I could find. It's been too long.
Well, honestly, folks, I think what it seems like to me is that we have a good idea of where Walter Corbett might have been buried. We have a good idea that he's up to some freaky deaky stuff. Honestly, I'm thinking we might want to check out that house.
If we're
I think-
dealing with some freaky things, maybe we should check it out in daylight.
Well, where's your sense of adventure?
It's at home in bed. I think I'd like to join it. It's been a long day.
That's my adventure
Phrasing.
bedtime.
I mean, if you're gonna go, boss, if you want us to go tonight, we can do go tonight. But I mean, at the very least, do you maybe want to sleep off that ankle?
I personally don't see any indication that anything dangerous happens in this house at night that doesn't happen there during the day. But I agree. You have an injury. We've been traveling from landmark to landmark all day. We're only human. Why don't we get a good night's rest?
Right.
It's at this point that the phone rings.
Everybody looks to
I'll
bed.
get it. I'm the secretary. Hello?
It's
Gun Investigative Services. This is Betty. How can I help you?
it's Mr. Knott. I was wondering if you've done the investigation yet, and if you've been able to come to some conclusions.
We found some very interesting information, Mr. Nort, but we plan to conclude our investigation tomorrow. No extra charge to you, of course. We're professionals.
What?
And I don't feel comfortable giving you any of our preliminary findings until we get more money from you. See? And also get the final information tomorrow, at which point we will have concluded our investigation and we'll have all the information you require.
Can I have a persuasion check, please? You are trying to get more money.
Apparently I am.
That just
because
came
of my
out
boss.
like, why not?
Those are the
Yeah,
best moments in roleplay.
He says, okay, I'll double the money, but the investigation needs to be concluded by tomorrow morning. You have to tomorrow morning, and I'll
Absolutely, sir.
double the money.
Thank
And
you so
hangs
much
up.
for your generosity. We'll speak to you tomorrow.
But it does mean investigating at night.
No,
Yep.
sir. Wait, what?
I mean, well, as the keeper has told us, we are now going to the house at night, so...
Wait, I thought you said don't investigate it now.
No.
Yeah.
If you want double money, want extra money,
Yeah.
then it needs to be finished by the morning, which means you have to go now at night.
All right.
Well, gang, looks like we've got.
I believe that's called a soft move or a hard move in by Apocalypse.
Yeah, soft move. You didn't tell us, and we arrive at the house, so that's a hard move.
You had me at double the money.
Yeah, that's an extra $330, people.
300? How are we getting that?
I think she inflated the money.
We were going to get by for the whole thing. So
Inflation?
Inflation.
Yes,
Look, Betty's our
I'm
secretary,
sorry.
not our accountant.
That's an extra $20, people.
She's the
Wow.
accountant as well, I think.
Good for a way.
Oh dear.
Oh no,
That's a lot
we're
of
in
malt
trouble.
sodas.
So
I mean, if you're doubling the... Oh dear.
we're going to be right back. We're going to have a quick break. And we're right back with the part 2 of the Corbett house, where things start getting real. Molgars, I know you tried to get them in at night time, but I had to force that. Why go during the day? It's Call of Cthulhu. Nothing happens during the night.
No.
Yep.
Believe me, they're just as powerful during the day if there is anything.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. My only thought is maybe we could find a window.
We'll
I
get to
don't know
that
to try the
soon.
doors.
We'll get to that soon as well. So we'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Stick around. I've got a lot of tabs to close down with all the investigations. You actually did quite well with it, and no one goes to the church. It's one of the lost ones that people don't always connect with, and they don't go there. And I love the falling down. It's just a thing. There was a luck chance as well if you went searching, but because you failed it so long, it's like stuff it, you fail. But thank you. We'll be back, and stick around. And I'll put some more music of 1920 Speakeasy from Syrinscape. So, bye. Hello, thank you for sticking around. We are about to jump into our part 2 of Call of Cthulhu: The Haunting, which has been around for a while as the quick start guide. It's amazing. It's a really great scenario. We've done our investigation, missed a few clues here and there, but also, and I know some people are wanting to go do some more exploration, but we're trying to push the investigation into a nighttime exploration of what might be a haunted house, because why not? So let's go to see everybody again and go, hi! So I know I've got to move people around a little bit, so just bear with me. Let's go to, got Snoozy and I know we've got a few people that are missing around. Okay. So we've got to go to, there we go. 1, 2, I know, total professionals here. There we go. We're good. Yes. We're good. So, we'll calm down the music because things are going to get a bit more... things are getting a bit more darker is probably the best way of putting it.
Atmospheric.
That's just because it's at night, right?
So, we have handouts as well, by the way. And this is where we start going to a bit more handouts and a few other bits and pieces. So, the brick building is overshadowed by taller, newer office buildings on either side. The house fronts the street. In the rear, overgrown plantings and a half collapsed arbor. Access to the rear exists on either side of the residence. Staying in the house, the observer is impressed by the way that the house seems to withdraw into the shadows cast by the flanking buildings in the moonlight, and how the blank curtained windows hide all understanding of what lies within.
I can't imagine why they're having trouble with it in this house out. It's such a charming little villa.
It's a real fixer-upper.
I mean, that's what people say about me, so.
But that's not rude of them.
It's okay. I myself have more than 2 stories I'd like to say. That's why I'm such a good actress.
There you go. And now you have the image of the house itself. So that's the image of the house. For those watching the overlay, that's the house. Makes it easy for you. And let's go to the actual map, I believe.
Hooray!
I know, I've been sitting here all this time without a map. Shocking.
Longing for a map.
Theater of the mind is all well and good until you have a couple of people who have less than 35 sanity.
And dynamic lighting.
No one wants to see the theater in their minds.
35? Try
24. Wait, 2.
22.
But you've got luck.
Not much.
So
And not
again,
for long.
longer running games, you'd have a lot more on both of those. Maybe.
You hope.
So you're outside the house.
Well-
It's a moonlit night. It feels eerie and creepy.
I think Esther has never been one to shy away from an adventure, and certainly not from a house that looks very livable, especially maybe if she can bargain Mr. Not down to a reasonable $10 a month rent. I think she enters.
Okay. Because why not? Okay, let's get this and we'll get your map up on the screen. There is a dynamic lighting barrier there, so just bear with me. There you go. Esther enters the house. It's dark inside.
Move a little bit forward.
And we can't see anything, right? You can. Esther can see more.
Esther doesn't have a flashlight.
I think only you have a flashlight, so... Oh,
Give
no,
it to
sorry,
me.
Jake has the flashlight.
Yep, she gave it to me.
Esther, Esther might not have thought this plan through.
Would you like to do a spot hidden?
I would love to do a spot hidden.
It's going to be kind of hard or extreme because it's dark.
I only
Wait,
assumed.
Or would you like just luck?
Are there any?
Uh?
Sorry, before you do that, are there any windows with curtains in the front?
Yes, there's windows with curtains in the front.
Like right to the right
Yeah.
and left of the door?
Yeah, right there, right next to you where you are, actually.
So you would have seen those before you walked in, and you could feel along the wall to just
Well,
pull open the
it's-
curtain. I mean, it wouldn't give you much light, but it would be more than total darkness.
at
I
this
honestly
point,
don't-
Jake would sigh, shake his head, and walk up and turn on the flashlight.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's fair.
Fine.
So Jake would assist her spot hidden with a flashlight.
Looking for light switches, I presume.
Yeah, something along them lines.
Ominous. Ooh. Ooh.
Nope.
Do I get any bonus because there's a flashlight that's being helped?
Jake's not inside. Jake's turning on the flashlight outside looking. Jake, would you like to do a spot check, please?
Sure. I will do a spot check. Doink. Hard success. 22 of 50.
Well, while you're pulling out the flashlight and Betty's like trying to look into the windows, which you can't because the curtains also cover the windows. But you notice something strange. At the base of the windows, the window which Betty's trying to look in through, it seems to be nailed shut.
All right. That's an oddity. All right. Gang, we should probably go in there before Esther decides to impress the ghost with her theatrical performance. I don't want to hear the Scream Queen tonight.
They would be lucky and sane to appreciate a performance from her.
Oh,
Have any
stop.
of you seen her
Yeah,
work?
but if she steps in,
By which I mean, please continue.
All right. Well,
yeah,
She's
but
the
if
next
she,
Look at
she's the next Mary Pickford. She's gonna be big, I tell you.
all right, well, I'll see them with a flashlight. I'll follow you.
all right. Hold on, Esther, we're coming.
You're going to have to move your token to be able to see.
All right. Okay.
You should have control.
Yep. Just having fun moving. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so you move in with your flashlight, and inside the front doors. Now, it's now actually quite obvious that there is a light switch just inside the front door, which was hard to see in the darkness.
All right, Slade. Why don't you give that thing a switch? See if we still got power.
All right. Shep, I'll try and flick on the light switch.
I
as the
believe in
lights
you. I
turn on
think you can do
on the hallway.
And as we switch on the light switch, the house explodes.
it. You go insane.
You idiot! You hit the bomb switch.
Robotic voice. This message will self-destruct.
So the hallway lights up after a little bit of a pause. There's lights that start lighting up in the hallway. There's enough light at the moment. And you can see that along the hallway there are 3 doors to the left and 2 doors to the right. And there seems to be something at the end of the hallway you can't quite make out by now, right here. You can see that the door immediately to, trying to think that way, immediately to the right seems to open up into a living room.
Well, gang, we're wasting the moonlight. Why don't we split up and explore different parts, you know? Cover as much ground as we can as quickly as possible.
Aye, sounds like a good idea.
If we got power, no reason for us to huddle together.
I'm sticking with the guy with the flashlight.
All right, Betty. Well,
So would
why
that
don't we
mean
see if we can find the back door? You two start up here.
Sounds good, boss.
okay?
All right.
So Jake, and try not to move too far. As a hint, by the way, some things might be triggered in distance or location. Just as a little bit of a warning. Just a little bit of a warning there. So you go down the other end of the hallway. You pass what seems to be the living room and keep on moving. There's doors. There's 3 doors to the side, and when you get down to the end, there seems to be the start of stairs.
Up or down?
Stairs that go up, right here.
Up.
So you haven't investigated any of the doors to the side.
I'm more interested in finding the other way out in case we need to get out first.
Well, I don't think the X
In case
is gonna
somebody
be
calls
on the
Johnny Law to
second
figure out
story,
why
boss.
someone's looking at the house.
Why don't we explore the
No.
first story?
So
That could be the way that we do it. 2 people explore the second story, 2 people explore the first.
that's why I was looking for the back door.
Well, there's 3 doors to the north, 1 to the south, directly
I'm
near
fine
you.
with that too.
Which one?
I
Well,
guess
I've got a
if
terrible
you guys want to
fear
handle
of
the first
heights
floor, Betty
above
and I can go
6
up to the
feet.
second.
We
Why
just
don't
had
we stay
a
at the first floor?
I've got a terrible fear of heights, and let's go explore the second from the same group. What's the choice? There's a little delay from you, Phoenix, and it was just like came through at exactly the same time. It's like,
All right. Well, I'm okay to go upstairs if that's if you're not wanting to go there.
Just like my career, I love to soar to new heights.
Oh,
All right. Let's hope that this is a bit more successful then.
okay. So we'll start with Jake and Betty on the first floor, at least for the moment, and see where things go. You've got a door to the north, door to the south. Which one do you want to investigate?
Lady's choice.
I always like going south if I can.
Okay. So you're opening the door?
Yes.
You open the door to the south. The door to the south swings open freely, a little bit of a creak, to reveal a conventional kitchen, an icebox, wood-fed stove, oven, plus a meager larder. Some of the foodstuffs although initially you think are possibly edible, after knowing the timeline of like when this has been abandoned, you'd be very concerned with your skills of trying to eat or even cook some of this. To the edge of the room seems to be it seems to be blocked off, and down here you can also see just a little bit into what seems to be a dining room on this side.
Well, unless you say otherwise, Betty, we're going to keep marching into the room.
So is Betty
Wait, what
going in?
year is it? What year is it right now?
I'd have to look at the
How many
notes. I
years has-
think it's about 19. It's in the 1920s.
How many
I
years
wanna
has it been
say-
since the Macarios left?
I'd have to look at the notes,
Roughly.
Okay.
I think it was roughly 4. It was like 1922 or something.
I think it,
They
I think
left
it might be
in
1923.
1918.
Well, 1918 was when the Macarios got left, but I thought it was like 22 for the story.
Okay.
But I could be misremembering.
There's also some date inaccuracies from memory. There's quite a number of date inaccuracies in writing this because it's been put in several editions, and I think they change the dates every now and then, and
Okay.
been some issues.
It makes things very interesting.
Yeah, makes things confusing. But Jake moves in. Betty is still left out in the hallway. To the south, to the bottom of the room, this strangeness to the bottom of the room here seems to be, as you look around, seems to be a doorway.
Probably down to the basement. I'll go ahead and pop the door open and just see if it leads down.
You open the door, and sure enough, it is going down to the basement. There's no lights in the basement. As you flash your torch down there, looks dark down there.
Well, I'm going to wait till the rest of the gang's finished upstairs before we go and look for Mr. Corbett's body in the basement.
Good call, boss. That's why you're the detective.
You can also look into the room to the side over here. It is most certainly the dining room, complete with a mahogany table, built-in sideboard, and 7 chairs. 3 paces are actually still set, but unused. Scraps of rice and soup rot in a tureen in the center of the table.
Those Macarios really left in a hurry.
That's what I was about to say. It's been a couple of years. Vermin should have come in and taken care of all this by now.
And you can see at the edge of your vision, at the edge of a torchlight, what looks to be that same living room near the front door.
Right. Well, keep marching along to get this side done.
Esther and Harlow, as you're moving, we'll put you, say, the top floor, was that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
As we're kind of like walking up the stairs, I think Esther turns to Slade and says, you know, I meant to mention this earlier, but why do you let Jake boss you around like that? You seem perfectly competent on your own.
Well, to be honest, we got some personal reasons there, but he's the one who got me started into this business, and I'm still learning a little bit, and, well, it's also who you know, right? So they look at him and they think, oh, there's somebody who's seen some action, you know, he knows what he's doing, and then they look at me and they're like, you're just a kid, what do you know?
I don't know. I'm over here waiting for my big break, obviously, but it seems like you might be doing the same, you know? Waiting for the chance to shine.
Well, at least get the credit, yeah.
I'll dedicate my next performance to you. I think you deserve at least that much.
Greatly appreciate it, lass. Looking forward to it.
Listen to her. Don't listen to her.
So you head up the stairs. Again, there's no light in the hallway. Can I have a luck or a spot or a hard? I think hard spot hidden.
I'm more likely to win a spot language. I'm more likely to succeed on a hard spot hidden than I am to succeed on a luck roll.
So I give you the choice.
I'm in a similar boat, but it's 1% difference. So,
Not a hard success.
but you did have an extreme success, which would be what we're looking for, which is one above the hard success that we're looking for.
4.
all right. So Slade's gonna die probably next roll. That's all of my IRL luck used up.
Roll 20 will remember you.
So, searching around in the darkness, you come across a switch, which then flashes the lights along the hallway, opening in sequence. To the south of you, there seems to be a small landing and a door going to there, and you can see doors along the top of the, like 3 doors along the hallway, and also windows on the other side.
Well, Slade, you want a chance to shine? You want a chance to get the credit? Why don't you decide where we go?
All right. Let's take a look at that landing first. See if we can get a little bit of information there. And sorry, is the landing down over here? Is that?
So the landing's right here, just right there, right behind you, right beside you. Yeah. Then
All right,
there's
I thought there was a
there.
door here for the landing, but if there's a door, then I want to try and go through it, but I'm just not seeing it. Is it there? Oh,
Well,
I think I
that's
walked
why-
into a wall.
so there's a door there. You open up the door.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so Slade's gonna step in here. It looks very dark.
So
Is there a light switch or anything kind of around here, or?
as you feel around for a light switch, can I have a luck roll, please?
Oh no. See?
Notice I didn't ask you for a perception, for a spot. I asked for a luck.
Right. Ha-ha!
You succeeded. So as you feel around for a light switch, you don't find a light switch.
Okay.
But it is not you that notices, it is Esther that notices. As you're feeling around on the wall for your light switch and your hand moves into the light, you're not looking at that, at your hand, you're trying to find the light switch. But it's Esther that notices your hand is dripping with blood. Sandy roll, please.
Oh, of course.
Oh, good.
I famously have a lot of sanity.
So.
Oh.
So close.
I don't think you can use luck on sanity rolls.
Oh,
I don't
Actually.
think-
Can't?
You
No.
can't
Nope.
use them on you can't use them on combat, sanity, or luck rolls.
I thought you could use them on combat rolls, you just couldn't push combat rolls.
You can't push, that's for sure. But we'll take, if you just want to accept it and don't want to spend your sanity, that's okay. You'd take sanity damage. I've got to find where it is because I love this one, and it's one you might not have thought. Because for those watching, Molgars has ran this before, but I'm changing things on her just to make it more fun for her. So yes, the blood starts dripping down the hands, and it seems to have emanated from the fingers and goes down the arms, hands into the and like down the arm, and you take 3 sanity.
Slade, look at your hand.
Slade's gonna be a little bit surprised and look at the hand. Do I see the blood?
No, you don't.
Slade, you're bleeding. Slade, oh my god.
I don't think I am, lass. I'm not feeling anything. Are you all right?
How do you not see this?
Apparently with some difficulty, but
Can I touch his hand?
You can touch his hand.
Do I feel
Slade would
blood?
hold it out just to be like,
It goes onto your hand. Unless you want to do another sanity roll to fight.
Sure.
okay. I was gonna say, Slade's like, all right, I probably would take his other hand, just to also run it across. Does it look like the blood's disturbed when Slade does that?
So, as you touch the hand and try to touch the blood, it seems to dissolve away from you as you touch it.
Well, I think there might be something weird about this house after all.
I can believe that. I'm also not seeing a light switch, so I'm going to say we should probably not be in this room unless we've got something external. And if you're seeing something going wrong with my hand, I don't think I want to be in here for too long. So what do you say? Shall we go somewhere else?
I think I'm inclined to agree, Slade. I don't get a good sense of this room. I think it's something.
I'm not getting a good sense of this house, lass.
I've got the heebie-jeebies a little bit, if I'm honest.
All right, well let's head on out. Maybe try one of the rooms down the hall. Since apparently I had bad luck with choosing a good room, how about you give it a try this time? Seems you might have better judgment in that regard.
I'm just gonna enter the first one we come across.
Okay, and we'll go back downstairs.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 of course. So back downstairs. Got to grab my ground floor. Back downstairs. You go through the dining room and you're looking into the living room itself. The dining room, as I said, the food has been left on the table and just is sitting there. There's 3 places set, just untouched. The living room itself contains conventional furnishings, radio, freestanding stove heater, couch, stuffed chairs, and shelves laden with gewgaws. You cannot help but notice the unusual quantities of crosses and images of the Virgin and other Catholic artifacts.
Betty, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a couple years since these people have been here, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I ain't seeing no evidence of hobos living here or raccoons, rats. I mean, there's still food on the table.
That's right, Bones.
That ain't right. Now, ignoring their propensity.
How many Macarios were there? Were there 3?
I don't rightly recall. I just knew it was a family. Well, I don't think these crosses did that family any good since they all ran out the door. So let's keep flashing light switches and get this room done, and then we may want to check on the 2 youngins upstairs.
Absolutely. Who knows what they've been up to? I'm just gonna very casually take one of the crosses.
Jake will very obviously pretend not to notice.
They just casually take on the crosses and again,
you know what? I'm gonna very casually and subtly take the largest cross there is.
Do I have to call for an appraise, or are we just going to assume that you just steal the biggest thing there is?
I mean, I would think that if it's a well-lit room, you can tell which one's the biggest. You don't really know much past that.
Yeah. So
you don't know which one's the holiest.
I've turned the lights on in the 3 rooms there, and so yes.
Well, let's I guess we'll get moving to the next room.
I didn't mean to make a correction as well. I've just had a look at the bottom of this part here is not the door to the basement. It's in the hallway at the bottom of the stairs that go up. That was me.
Okay.
I usually run it this way, but the overlay and everything's set up to the other way. But yeah,
Doesn't
Wait,
change
so
anything
then-
we've done.
doesn't change anything really.
But then
So-
what's this door here?
That's a window.
Oh, okay. And this is basement? No.
I described it as
That's
the
nothing.
basement
Yeah.
door, but it's actually in the hallway. It's
Okay.
the stairs go
Door is
up
on
and the stairs go
that
down in the
side.
back of the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reversed it. That was my mistake. There's still things on the outside, like
All right.
if you want to go back to the hallway, I'll move you right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so there's
Door number
3 rooms along the top.
yeah. We'll start at the first and work our way back to the stairs that the other two went up.
Sounds good. I'll be right behind you, boss.
So you open up the
Enough
door.
on the head.
Open up the door to a room which it seems to be filled with boxes and junk, such as rusted water tanks, old bicycles. At the end of the room is a cupboard which seems to be boarded shut.
Okay.
Why would someone board shut a cupboard? Are they afraid of baked beans?
Cupboard moths I was talking about earlier.
They're vicious.
Oh.
Absolutely vicious.
Deadly.
Well, if we search around and we find a pry bar, we may come back to that. Otherwise, we can always force it open later. But
Maybe I can use my nail file.
we might be here a while for you to saw through those logs.
There's enough junk here that you could probably use. Like there's bits of bicycle and bits and things like that. You could actually use that to try to force it open if needed.
Yeah, I'm of the mind that we, before we start breaking into things, let's see what else is around.
Yep.
Because whatever's in there ain't going nowhere right now.
That's true.
So
That
You
is
hope.
true.
let's check the other.
All right.
Okay. So
Right.
as you walk out into the hallway, we'll go back to. Oops.
Yep.
We'll go back to upstairs.
All right,
With
so is
Esther.
this
In Harlow.
the first door?
That's your first door there. As you go.
Oh, okay. I thought
Okay.
that was a window.
So windows to the north, doors to the south.
Okay. Wait, so this is a window?
That is a window.
All right, then I will go to this door here.
There we go. That's the door.
All right.
And we go to that one. Okay. So the door to this room is already opened. The room contains an old bed frame sitting against the wall next to the door. The room contains an old bed frame sitting next to the wall next to the door, sitting against the wall next to the door. It's bare bed springs, bare to the elements. There's a dresser on the far end of the wall, though the room looks like it's been unused for some time.
I will investigate the dresser.
Right.
So the dresser would be over here on this side of the room.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So, as you investigate the dresser, you open it up and it looks like it's empty. There's nothing that's been there. Again, the place looks like it's not storage. It's just unused.
Mhm.
And it looks like the Macario family hasn't needed this room.
Anything in that, Us?
No, not that I can see. What about the bed frame? Is there anything strange about that?
I'll go have a look. Where would the bed be? About, or just?
Essentially, exactly where you are. Like,
Oh, okay.
Against this wall here, exactly where you are.
Okay. Then Slade will just kind of take a look. Kind of pat down the mattress, see if something's randomly hidden there.
Without having to ask for a spot hidden, the bed looks quite old. Looks like it was probably one of the original beds for the residents of the house, way beyond the age of the recent residents. But other than that, it looks like it's old. It looks like it's just, not usable. That's for sure.
All right. Doesn't seem like there's much here.
Huh?
Well, I'll take that over seeing blood, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes finding nothing's
Honestly,
a hell of a lot better.
I'll accept a born even at this point.
All right. Let me check the room next down the hall. I'll take the lead this time.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So as you move down the hall, we'll go downstairs with Betty and Jake. Or Jack. Both. Because it is both, but hey, that's my mistake,
J-Jack.
So, the second room, you open it up and it's full. This is just old furniture and just everything is broken up. So it looks like, well, they may have been short on fuel or something like that, and they've been using this, or whoever was here was using this to use on a wood stove in the kitchen. But it's old furniture that's been stored away and then broken up to use for wood burning.
Why would they make their wood pile in the house, even if they were using their furniture?
I don't rightly know.
None of this sits right.
This is 2 rooms in a row that are filled with stuff. They seem to have just been acquiring.
Yeah, we got metal junk in the first room, and now this room of broken furniture.
Metal junk and then wooden junk? Perhaps the third room will be ceramic.
Yeah, more bottles.
Or bottles.
Maybe they ain't drunk all of it yet.
I read you loud and clear, boss.
All right. Well,
all right. Well, let's get right to the booze room. Yeah.
So move to the third room.
Affectionately called the booze room.
Now called the booze room. So the mud room. Here hangs the overcoats, galoshes, hats, and umbrellas. Several bags of coal that looks like for the living room fire are stored here. You notice that the side door, the back door you were looking for earlier, is secured with 3 bolts and 2 locks.
Bolts on this side.
I didn't want nobody getting in. But the front door was open. Esther didn't have to do nothing to get in, did she?
You were given keys, and Esther did use the keys too.
Ah, okay.
Let's see if the key we were given for the front door works on this door too.
As you try the key, it doesn't seem to fit. You try it on each of the locks, which are here, and there's multiples of them. Not a single one.
Well, they just didn't have the money to get them all keyed the same, I guess. But that's a lot of security for one door.
Yeah. Is there a window in it?
No.
No? But we can tell it goes outside, or we don't know.
From the layout of the house, it's certainly outside, yes.
Well, Jake's gonna go ahead and undo all the locks and open up the door and just
Well, the key doesn't unlock it.
confirm.
It's locked.
It doesn't have a. Oh, it's keyed on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh well.
There's no latch on the inside to undo it. It's key only.
Ah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Can I try a locksmith to see if I can pick the lock?
You can try it.
Ah,
You can spend a lot of luck if you like.
nope.
Okay. Back to the top. With Slade and Esther.
All right. So I'm trying to get into this room now. Is the door open here?
Let's see. Yes, it is.
All right. And Slade's going to step in it.
Esther will follow.
Again,
Is there anything?
this room is positioned in a way where it's harder to see inside without the light, as the light in the hallway doesn't reach this room as easily.
All right. Is there a light
Would you
switch
like-
or anything?
I was going to say, would you like to do a perception check, a spot hidden for a light switch again?
Absolutely. Not that good at it, but give it a shot.
They fall for it every time.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
I'm kidding. So you scramble around, you hands all over the walls, and you don't seem to find a light switch.
All right. I'm not having any luck with the light switch in here, so
What
Just
you
gonna-
can see in this room, the room seems to be a child's room, where you can see is two small beds and some toys and dresser. From the little bit of light you can see, there seems to be pictures of cowboys and on the walls, and maybe some aircraft on the walls as well. Early aircraft at that.
all right. So we found a little boys' room from my guess.
Heterosexual boys' room.
Perhaps we should I don't know. It seems like we're not going to have a whole lot of luck looking into this room. Should we try the next?
I'd say probably yeah, unless the lad kept a diary or something. We're not gonna. I mean, I'm assuming it's a lad, but I don't know many people that buy their daughters cowboy things. But you know, maybe I had a different upbringing. I think we should try the third room.
Okay, I'll move you to the last one. You move to
Sorry.
the last room, and as you're going to enter, all four of you hear that come from inside the house. For Betty and for Jake, it sounds above you. For Esther and Slade, from the other end of the hallway.
Boy, you kids all right up there?
I'll let you know in a minute. Actually, could we even hear that, or is that going to be like would we hear each other shouting
Nope.
across the house? All
Nope.
right.
Something tells me that if we want to know what's going on in this house, maybe we should investigate that.
All right. Do you think we should call the others so that, you know, if there is somebody up here, they at least know that we're looking into the noise?
Betty, Jake, what are you doing? You hear a noise above you.
What's going up? I didn't call back.
Well, it's hard to hear in a house.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jake knows that.
Yeah, that's true. Are you going upstairs?
I would want to if we didn't hear any response to him shouting. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll copy and paste and move you upstairs.
Okay. We're probably going to move down to the end of the hallway, but
Mm-hmm.
So, you think it came from this room here, as you both move in closer to the sound.
That's so strange. We were just in there. It seemed perfectly normal.
You were in there? What was in there?
Just a
Just
bed
need to be in
and
the bedroom.
an old wardrobe. I guess. I
don't
guess
know
we
if I
should.
missed
I guess we should check it out again.
Did
Jake, do you have the
was there
flashlight
anything
still?
in the wardrobe?
Sorry, I couldn't
There
quite
you go,
catch
Slade.
that.
Was there anything in the wardrobe when you were in there?
No, not a thing, not a soul.
All right. Well, I've got the flashlight. Thanks, boss. All right. All right. I'm gonna go up to the door, and I'm going to say the best phrase you ever can in a horror situation. Is someone there?
There's no answer.
All right. I'm gonna open the door and step in and just shine the flashlight around. See what I see.
I'll give you some dynamic lighting.
That's always a good thing. All right. Do I see anything that could have made the noise?
So you go in there, and you're looking around, and you're shining the torchlight around, and you have a look at the bed, and it seems to be the same, seems to have not moved. You then move the light across to the wardrobe, and again, it seems to have been untouched. The window, as you shine the light, it starts moving, rattling.
All right. That's odd.
Should we investigate that?
Yeah, I'll go have a look. And sorry, just because of through it, does it seem like the movement's coming from the wardrobe or from the window?
The window.
All right.
It's
Slade will
probably
move.
just the wind.
Aye, but I'd rather be sure.
And everyone
want
else is
to
hiding
really-
in the hallway, it seems.
I don't want to be investigating the house and then somebody breaks into it. We have to say, oh yeah, it was fine, but you got a broken window because we didn't do nothing about it.
Okay. Betty, you behind the door, hiding behind the, or are you actually looking in?
I'm looking in.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Can I get a spot hidden check from Slade?
All right.
We are investigating.
This is how I die. That be a fail.
As
So I don't see it coming. That's better.
oops. So, I'll show chat first because it's funnier. If it works.
Wait.
As the bed frame flies across the room with the exposed metal and all, flies across the room and hits you and knocks you out of the window.
All right. Do I have to do anything about that, or do I just?
Firstly, while I'm doing hit points, all those in the room, including yourself,
Check?
stand check because you witnessed it, which is why I asked, were you not hiding behind the door, were you watching what's going on? So, stand check please, for everyone except for Jake.
Oh, I'm just. I told you guys I used to hold my luck.
Go.
I'm so sane.
Okay, so how did our sanity checks go? We had a failure, spectacular failure at that, but that's okay.
It's not. It's not a critical.
We had another failure, and we had a save from Snoozy. Okay, so Snoozy, 1 sanity. Even when you pass, sometimes you still fail. And for Molgars, you lose 1, and Aeon, you lose 4.
All right.
That seems fair. That poor Slade would lose more.
I think you should, because you tried to
I'm
figure this
being hit by a
before.
bloody. I'm being hit by a. If I'm aware that I'm being hit by a bed, I didn't do something like jump out of the way. Yeah, I'm probably going. What are you doing, you idiot? I mean, it might not matter. I might just be dead when I hit the ground.
You take 5 points of damage as you fly out the window.
That'd be a
Remember, it's
major
not the
wound for me.
Mm-hmm. It is a
It's
major
not the
wound.
fall that hurts, it's the sudden stop at the end.
No, it's the exposed springs on the bed frame.
All right, so that's a major wound for me. Do I have to make a con save?
Well, we generally don't go through that because it's just a.
All right.
Because it's also longer running stuff. It's only one shot. But yes, you have copped a major wound. And some people have seen what's happened, and so what are people's reactions to the beds flying across the room?
I think for a moment Esther is too stunned to do anything, and then I think she would try to run outside as quickly as she could to see if her friend is okay.
Yeah.
Jake is running towards the room since he didn't see any of that.
Jake, can I get a power check, please?
Yes, power.
Power good.
Always an innocuous request.
Yeah. Alright, come on.
I think anytime the keeper asks for a check, it should just be like this. Well, how do I die now?
As you run down the hallway,
I'm gonna. Can you spend luck for power?
I think so.
I'll
You
spend
can
it.
if you
I'll spend
want.
the 6 luck for it.
okay. So it's a pass, just a flat pass.
Yep.
Let's see. So as you run down the hallway and running
good.
towards your friends, your employees even, they start flickering in and out of existence. But as you get to the room, they are still there. Something is certainly going on.
And I'm probably running face to face with Esther, who's running out.
I mean, Esther probably just looks scared. I think. I think it just seems like Esther's running away from something more than running to something.
Okay.
I would imagine if you were exiting.
Is the bed still against the window?
The bed's against the window. You're stuck to the bed on the other side of the
I thought I went
window.
out the window.
I thought you went out the window.
You're stuck
I
to the
thought I, like,
bed
hit the ground.
on the other side of the window.
Oh, lovely.
Again, it's not the height, it's not the sudden stop at the end. It's the bed springs that are exposed where they're the main danger.
So are they like currently just dug into Slade as he's like
Yeah.
suspended from the window via these rusty springs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Jake would be running straight to, I guess, the bed.
You run straight towards the bed.
Yeah, I'll follow.
He's got to save his protege.
Jake,
Hi,
can I
I
have
was
a power?
misunderstood.
Can I have a power
I misunderstood.
check,
I thought it
please,
was on the ground.
Who did you want the pal from?
from you?
Okie dokie.
I will be right back.
Yep.
Nope. And there's no way I can afford that.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait. Yeah, nah, 91 versus 30? I don't think I'm going to get that.
Okay. Just give me a moment.
That's 3 times the amount of luck I currently have that I would have to spend.
There. Open up your sheet and go to the first page.
Okie doke.
So the bio info. I'll just wrote a note there for you.
Alright. Okay.
What do you want to do? You run up to try to save, and then what do you do?
Pull out the switchblade.
You pull out the switchblade to try to cut him off the...
No, it'd be... Well, yeah, I'd cut him off the bed.
Okay. Do you attack?
All right, can we talk about this?
As you see, Betty and Esther, you see Jake pull out a switchblade in the darkness and reaching through the sharp spines and steel springs of the bed frame from the inside. It looks like he's going to try to cut Slade off the bed itself.
Boss, I'm going to suggest that you not do that.
I'll give you a bonus dice at this as well.
Am I able to do anything just out of curiosity? I'm going to assume no.
Okay. So a bonus dice, which would make it a 21 instead of a 61.
Oh.
So the switchblade comes through and isn't as careful as you think. It's not just cutting clothing off, but it cuts skin off as you take 1 damage. That's
Right.
gets you unstuck. But it's the fall. You take a further 5.
I'm dead.
As you fall to the ground outside. Betty, Esther, you've just seen Jake with his switchblade cut Slade off the bed frame, and he dropped to the ground, limp, outside.
So Esther was running right out the door. Does she see it? Does she see it from? Did she get there in time to watch it?
If you're running out the door,
Yeah, I was trying to run outside because I assumed he had fallen. Because from what I saw, I assumed
you're
he
running
had fallen.
outside, he would hit the
Yeah.
ground before that. This happened.
So I just see his dead body.
So you would be essentially in the bottom hallway while this happened. You would get there, and there would be a body there on the ground when you get to the outside.
Slade! And I think she runs up to him, not sure if he's breathing, not sure if he's dead or not, and she starts shaking his shoulders. Slade, please.
So move Slade there, move Esther to beside Slade's body. But meanwhile, while you're running, Betty, what are you doing?
I'm just staring at my boss / the window.
Could I get a spot hidden, please? Or psychology.
Or psychology.
Probably psychology or psychoanalysis, I think it is.
Isn't psychoanalysis to like cure madness?
Psychoanalysis is to cure madness, psychology is to read intent.
Okay, psychology. I get them mixed up. I
Psych-
will allow either because I made these characters and I probably put the wrong one in. Your boss isn't your boss right now, and it's very, very spooky. Can I get a sanity check, please?
Oh, Betty. Betty.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Hard success. Once again, I am extremely sane.
You pass it off somehow. What do you want to do? Your boss is just the shadows around him seems to like play with his body and plays with his vision in the side of the room.
Here, Betty.
I'm gonna run up to him, grab his hand, and say, Jake, Jake, can you hear me? What's happening to you? Are you all right? Snap out of it.
I'll give you a little bit of lighting so you can see. What do you want to do, Jake?
If that does not trigger anything, she did exactly what I asked her to do. She came closer. So.
Jake comes at you. Jake comes at you with his switchblade. What do you want to do?
And fails.
And fails, yes.
This is only the second floor.
Second floor.
I'm gonna jump out the damn window.
You'd have to leave this room because this window is blocked.
What? Someone just fell through this window.
Yeah,
because there's a bed frame that pushed him out, and the bed frame is stopping it.
Wait, what?
There's a bed frame that's blocking the window.
Oh, that's right.
You're closer to the door than I am, though.
Yeah, all right. I'm
He's
gonna
gonna limp.
peek out.
I'll show the handout. I showed it to chat instead. I'll show it to you guys if I can find it. It's a beautiful. Here we go. Oh, at least that. I'll do it here then. Okay, it is there. Yeah, there we go.
Where is it?
So that's the handout. Called the upper floor, as in the bed frame moved across, and is now up against the window. But yeah.
Right. Thank you for that visual.
I gave it to Jack first.
So I just
all
sit
right.
back and enjoy the show now.
I'm gonna scream.
You scream?
You're not Jake! And I'm gonna book it down the stairs.
Can I have a power check, please? A power roll, please.
Who, me, Ma?
Yeah.
Power? Where is power? I couldn't find
Power's
it.
right at the top, under your
Can
name,
I-
under strength.
Can I roll a listen to see if I hear her say that?
You're still running. Like, this is because you had to spend some time to get to. So
Yeah.
this is happening as you left.
But I did first come to him and try and grab his hands, and then he came at me, and then
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
All right, where?
So
power.
under your name,
Okay.
there's strength and
next
there's
to your
power.
left. Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, normally a success is great, but compare it against an extreme success is not good enough. As you were saying, you're running out. Was that it?
Mhm.
Yes. Were you running to find a window?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna try and run down the stairs. How I remember
Okay.
where they were.
So you run out into the hallway, and the hallway is blackness on both sides. You see nothing. You don't know where you are. You feel like you're in nothingness at all.
You're not going anywhere, Betty.
And there's no walls around you. You are in a void.
I've been blackout drunk enough over my many years to know that when you can't see anything, just turn in a direction you think is right and go for it. So
Jake, you're no
when
longer
I
possessed.
step out of the wall and everything is blackness and void and I can't see or feel any walls, I'm just gonna take half a breath, turn what I hope is 90 degrees, and try and run towards the stairs.
Okay. I can only say this is a 50-50. Low, we're going to the left. High, you're going to the right. Roll a dice because it's actually no. Roll actually more fitting would be roll luck.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not 50-50. Roll luck. Oh, I saw the
32
zero
luck.
first. I saw the first one. You run down the hall as fast as you can to try to find the stairs, and you knock yourself out. And you're unconscious. Jake, you're yourself now. You know what you did. Bonus points for the unconsciousness. You can come back, Snoozy. I didn't notice Aeon like down, but yes.
I killed him. But why the hell did I kill him? And Jake will start stumbling out the door and turn to the stairs, forgetting momentarily about poor Betty. Because, well, his dead apprentice is more pressing.
Sure, he's been there for what, like a year? I've only been working with you for the past 25 years of your career.
Hey, you know. But he's like
You're
a
not dead.
Not yet. We're working on it.
No, I know. But like, you ran away. He doesn't know what happened to you. He just dropped me out a window.
Speaking of the fact that I just killed my protege, do you need a sanity?
Who does? Oh,
I'm
for
asking
you.
if I need to. Because I just killed my protege.
Look, I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
Yeah.
And one for Betty as well.
But I'm unconscious.
True, but you also saw him kill his brother. No, I.
I'm
Fantastic.
unconscious, baby.
Oh. You asked before what was the worst you could roll. That's a 100 is the worst you can roll.
No, the
My
next roll is the
second
worst you can roll. Can I get an
critical
intelligence check,
fail of the
please?
night.
Can I get an intelligence check, please?
Yep.
And I won't hide this one because it's important.
Oh my god, I failed it.
Damn.
Yay!
This is the one I wanted you to pass. Absolutely the one I wanted you to pass, that second one. So bouts of madness. Bouts of madness are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get you to roll D10, please?
Alright.
Because I want this to be your fault, or which one you choose. Okay, this makes sense. In your panic of what you just did, you flee the scene. You are compelled. Flee in panic. The investigator is compelled to get as far away as possible by any means available. Does this mean you have the keys of the car? Being
Yes, I
the owner of the office? So we'll skip to outside. I won't even tell you how much madness you've gotten from that, but we'll skip to outside. Molgars, you reach the body, like broken body of your friend.
No. It's like this can't be happening. I think in my panic I'm just trying to shake him back to life. Like I don't think she knows what to do in this moment. And she's just trying to like prompt a reaction from this body that had life in it so recently and has gone limp. Please remember, you had to get your big break. You had to. You had to get the credits. You can't die. Please. And then I think when nothing happens, I think she just like air being let out of a balloon. Like I think she just collapses.
As at that stage, you hear the car start up outside the front.
She runs toward it.
You get to the front to see the tail lights of your boss's not Slade's car, but Jake's car turning around the corner at speed.
Are there any rocks, like gravel, anything like that in the driveway? Yeah. She's hurling rocks at the car.
Hurling rocks at the car. What do you do? You're the only one left in the scene.
I think as it becomes apparent that she's just well and truly out of options, that her way home has abandoned her. Her friend is dead. I think Esther crumples to the ground and just throws her head in her hands and doesn't know what else she can do.
And we close the scene. The police arrive the next day. They don't find Slade. His body's not there. They enter the house. They don't find Esther. Sorry, not Esther. They don't find Betty. She's not there. An APB is set out for Jake. He is promptly arrested. Of course, because that's also a way of happening in Call of Cthulhu. And the house keeps its mysterious atmosphere. I'm sure Esther's career goes down the hill and you end up in the local asylum, because that is also how things happen in Call of Cthulhu. It was mentioned in chat that I'm nice. No.
Who said you were nice? And to what?
Oh, it was me. It was me when you didn't let Betty jump out the window.
Okay. Oh, so yes, yep. No, I was also working against you because you've played this scenario. So you tried to trigger the bed on Eon. You tried to trigger it on him, and I know you did. That's why I went no. No.
I appreciate that.
I do appreciate that you had this like heart-to-heart moment with me, and then immediately tried to get my character killed.
Yes.
I really do appreciate that, because as soon as it's like, the bed's rusty. Good, this is gonna kill me.
So most people. So the few times I've run this, I usually get people from that room to flee. This time I had to do a domination, which I don't usually have to do. I had to do a few bits more. That was hard to get you to get out. The whole thing is I've got to try to get you out of it. And I won't say the whole thing on screen, but off screen I'll tell you a few more things happening in the background, which Molly knows a bit more what's happening in the background. But you did well. Love voices.
Yeah,
Love
real well.
The voices were
like
spectacular. Even Phoenix not helping in the library was beautiful. Or not the library, but
the records, yeah.
The record hall.
It's just like, yeah, he can do this. No, loved it. It's in character. I kind of made up really blank characters, but it's very much in character. Yes, and totally Molly tried to kill. Yeah, absolutely.
In fairness, I tried to get one of us killed. I didn't much care I didn't much care who it was.
And we didn't have to have like the lowest, like the random attacks, because that was also part of it. Where the lowest person with lowest luck is the target. We didn't have that. It was more situational and positional. So that's also a part of the game, which is actually. But I do want to ask what do people think of the system? Molly, I'm not going to ask you. You've played this, you've ran this, so I'm not going to ask. I know you can do this. Snoozy, what do you think of Call of Cthulhu?
The numbers wise are super simple. I didn't really get a lot of experience understanding like how injuries and unconscious and hit points or like insanity going down or like temporary insanity works.
Yeah.
But
that's me trying to just skip over the more complex side of things.
Yeah.
And just work more narratively.
Just the skill checks and the role playing, really fun, really good.
So I'm just going to put the skill checks are such a simple thing. It's a percentage based system. It's why I like the system. It's so simple. But yeah, for the more complex stuff, I try to skip. We could have gone into what is gone through and just pausing. Okay, this is what a major wound is. But we had a moment where stuff is happening. I don't want to pause. Like I wanted to continue that emotion. So I didn't want to step back and go through that. But there is a little bit more you can go into about major wounds. Major wounds do heal a lot slower. And they can be a bit more damaging, etc. And yeah, so he didn't want. And the knockout was like, I was trying to get people to leave and try to get people to run, but it's like I could just do that one more hallucination on you. It's like, yeah. So it was, you run to which way? It's like luck roll is pretty much more important, and running full speed into a wall is funnier than not. So that's me being evil. Phoenix, what did you think?
First time I've actually played Call of Cthulhu. The D100 system is easy, and I can see where it can be very lethal just because of probabilities in the numbers. I mean, most of your skills are less than 50%, regardless of what they are. Yep. But my favorite part of the system is the luck mechanic. I love the luck mechanic.
We're playing a bit differently from what it usually is, but yes.
Yeah.
So the redemptions being that trade-off, that's not how it works. You wouldn't have redemptions on a table game. And we wouldn't have that on the long-running game because that's a lot more extreme. But yeah, if you just miss a roll, you can spend it.
Yeah.
If you miss it by a long way, you can try to push the roll by coming at it a different way, which I like that idea personally, because you have to do a different roll, which is usually not one you are good at. Aeon, what do you think?
Very different on the player side of things. It's a lot of fun. That's not how I expected to die, in all honesty, but it did not surprise me that I died. I basically looked at my character, looked over like what I was good at, and I'm like, are you sure I'm a private detective? I feel like I'm just this random book nerd who got it. So, like, first time I actually encounter danger is going to just be the red shirt.
Yeah,
I literally just look at my character and I'm like, I swear I have these stats for my red shirts in my own campaign.
Well, that's the thing. You're playing people.
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome. I'm just like, I'm a random person. That was why I was just like, why am I going to a haunted house in the middle of the night? No.
Well, I can blame Molly for trying, because she did try. And then I can blame Snoozy for, like, giving me the opportunity to do what I was going to do anyway. with the
Oh.
double money.
For what it's worth, I fully succeeded because I said I did say once it started ticking, or once you started banging against the window and it made it shaking, I was like, we should go investigate that.
I mean, to be fair, I already knew. It's like I gave it's my favorite Whoopi comedy routine is I was the white guy, the white person in the haunted house scenario. Is someone there? I knew I was gonna die as soon as I uttered that.
Yeah.
I just figured it would be scarier for everybody if I wasn't the person to do it. But if nobody else did it, I would have done it. I just needed it. I wanted it to be carnage.
I was kind of annoyed that only one person went in, and everyone else was at the door looking. I've caught 3 people in that trap before. 3 people out the window, out of 4. And of course that 4th one went bonkers insane, because that's what happened. The other ones, they did survive. They didn't take as much damage, and they survived. But yeah,
You live and you die by the dice.
yeah.
Live by the dice, die by the dice, baby.
So did I get to some surprises for you, Molly? Because I know you've ran this.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I had a lot of fun. The fact that we had this result and didn't even get to the basement.
Yeah.
What's in the basement?
Exactly. What's in the basement? My entire job for this session, well, at least for this section of the session, was to not get you to go into the basement. That's my job. Because what's in the basement is what's doing all this. So it's his job is to not get you to go there. When you split up, it made it harder for me because it's usually like, okay, I know where people are going, I can try to get these, but no, it was actually really good. It's a whole thing of what's in the basement. So we're going to do a raid. I do love this game, by the way. We're going to do a raid. I'm going to find someone hopefully doing some Call of Cthulhu. While I'm doing that searching, we do some outros, and if you have your own stuff you can promote and whatnot, you can promote that. So I know, Snoozy, you've got some YouTube stuff if you want to promote that. Really? I like it. I've been trying to watch it. I think it's funny. But either way, Molly, can you do the outro and I'll start looking and doing stuff. And thank you everybody for your subscriptions and all the love you shared. It's been amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Molly. I also go by Molgars on Tumblr and other places across the internet. If you want to see more content from me, my Tumblr is a good place to start. And also, I am cryptid_keeper on TikTok, which I just recently made. So feel free to follow me there. I make mediocre Smurf-related content sometimes.
Okay. Phoenix, if you want to follow that up.
Thank you, everyone, tonight. This has been a blast. My name is Phoenix. You're not going to find me poking around promoting other things because, well, I'm just here. So, if you want to find me here.
And if you want to find him elsewhere, that would be stalking. Illegal.
That's illegal.
Oh, he's one to talk about illegal activity. He murdered somebody.
To be fair, he didn't. The fall killed me, not the knife.
I did like
That's
the
like if I
reaction.
push you in front of a train, it's not my fault, you're dead.
The reaction of reading the "you are possessed, you want to kill them," and it's like the reaction. It's like, yeah, okay, you're going to enjoy this, aren't you?
Like, we know what kind of player we got.
That was the message. Just that was all. I was like, yeah, he wanted to do it. Snoozy.
I guess like Snoozy Games on YouTube. My roommate and I, at least for a while, were like playing Pokemon Gold from the Game Boy because I've never played a Pokemon game and it's his favorite game, and they're kind of funny. Yeah, and in the immortal words of Brad Pitt, what's in the basement? What's in the basement? What's in the basement? I need to find out what's in the basement.
You just gotta play again and find out, don't you?
I'll tell you afterwards. It's okay.
Okay.
Eon.
This is really fun. Thank you for having me. I'm Eon Victory, and I'm just similar to Phoenix. I'm just kind of here as well. I don't have anything yet, but who knows? Maybe I will in the future. I'm just here on the interwebs.
Okay, so I finally found a place to raid. Not an easy one because there's so many good ones, and everyone I'm looking at was like, not English. I'm like, oh, there's so many good-looking streams to raid. So tomorrow we might be doing tomorrow we're actually launching a new show. So absolutely amazing. We've been working on it for 9 months, and I'm actually not kidding. It has been 9 months, probably about 10 since we've been starting to work on this. We are launching the Extinction Curse, a circus-based Pathfinder 2 adventure path with the Saints and Sinners group. They've been learning Pathfinder 2 offline for the last few weeks, going through the beginner box. Even though we've been doing a live version of the beginner box as well, we've been doing it offline for them, TPKing and etc., learning the rules. Because what's learning the rules if you can't TPK? And I was very mean for them. So that's starting tomorrow. It's amazing. The overlay looks spectacular. Chibi, Hirakiri Chibi did the overlay and did the artwork. Coming for that, it's going to be really weird and cartoonish, or not cartoonish, but comic. But if you're used to seeing them do the Saints and Sinners really dark moral shows, this is going to be them letting loose and having fun, which is always great to see with them. And we might be also doing a dice rant at the end of the week if we can get that organized. There's been some interest, and I really want to start getting that regularly. And I got some new stuff this week. I got finally Altered Carbon, so that's going to be
I have a game going of Altered Carbon.
I'm so jealous. I finally got my stuff because it takes ages to get to Australia. Really jealous that you got a game. I want to play it. I want to look into it. I got it just before stream. But anyway, that's happening this week.
So do I.
You've got one too? Oh, I'm jealous. Super jealous. So that's happening this week. I hopefully have our credits rolling. So stick around. Thank you everybody for your support. We'll be back next week. We'll have something. This will be essentially our Cthulhu group because I think we did really well. And we're ramping up for a very large campaign, which is going to be spectacular. And I'm not going to be running it, so I get to play and get picked on by these people as well, which is always fun.
I won't forget this.
No.
Esther will remember that.
Yeah. You're the first one into the basement next time.
Well, next week I'll have better connectivity too, so
that's always good. So we're going to be rating Dice Priori. They're playing something which looks really good, and so we're going to say hello to them and share the love. So check that out. We're going to have our credits roll. Thank you everyone again. It's been amazing. That sanity and luck choice was always good if it came to that, and it did change the values of them quite dramatically from start to finish. So thank you so much, and
goodbye.